If you visit the Rippaverse, you'll see just how I move differently. Got more arm hair than an armchair. That's why they call me Papa Bear, because it is what it is. What it is, ain't it what it is what it is, and that's it. My business got so many factors, and I got so many detractors. Those suckers gonna meet to me, and ISO's gonna sue me, because it is what it is. What it is, ain't it what it is what it is, and that's it. Got 100,000 comics without any buyers, and a lot of insurance for warehouse fires, because it is what it is, and what it is and ain't it. What it is what it is, and that's it. I sold 3D assets to a bunch of asshats for a pile of cash that's all gone up in smoke, because it is what it is. What it is, ain't it what it is what it is, and that's it. You know a grifter's gonna grift and a scammer gonna scam. Next I'll sell these morons a comic about horsemen, because it is what it is, and what it is and ain't it. What it is what it is, and that's it. You know a grifter's gonna grift and a scammer gonna scam. Next I'll sell these morons a comic about horsemen, because it is what it is. What it is, ain't it what it is what it is, and that's it.
All right. Oh, there we go. Okay, guys. All right. I think I got it working. I think I got it working. Let me know if the microphone, if the audio shits the bed. I apologize. You know what? Let me see if I can play. Make sure the audio is working just in general. Hold on, let me play something really quick. Okay, hold up. My audio is so screwed right now. Hold up 1 second. Okay, cool. Um, I think this is system. Okay. God, dude, it's just one thing after another. I updated this, so hold. Let me see if I can play some music. Oh wait. This is the Brave browser. This is the Brave browser. Give me a second. Hang in there, guys. We're sorting this out. We're sorting it out. All right, cool. We got dope beats from the Warp. This is from the Fleece and Boulder channel. Newly released music. Guys, link in the description to the Fleece and Bolter channel. My Space Marine puppet is nearly complete. Here's the body. There's a couple things I need to do to it to get it to work properly. Zombie Bomb is in the chat. Thank you. Hi everybody who has joined. Is the chat working on stream? Yeah, it is. Oh boy. Okay, so everything seems to be working pretty good so far. The hair. Oh, I know. Dude, this is motorcycle head, okay? Do not make fun of me. I was doing Giga Chud. I was engaged in Giga Chud activities like riding my motorcycle menacingly through the streets. I was lane splitting this morning, and somebody was like chimping out at me. They were like screaming at the top of their lungs, and I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna keep lane splitting and get the heck away from that freak, because I don't want the smoke. Because a lot of people in Vegas are like on edge, especially after that kid was taken out by that dumbass who decided to shoot into that car, and there was like a kid in there, and the kid ended up biting the bullet. Very sad story. And yeah, I mean, you just can't engage with the violence on the street. You can't engage in the road rage, or you're just gonna get consumed by violence. So yeah, the great thing about the motorcycle is I can just whoop zip away, and it's not really a big deal. But everything seems to be working out pretty well. Let me make sure that we're looking good on Rumble. Where my rumblers at? Let me go check up on Rumble really quick. Make sure that we're rumbling along. Let's see. Live. Okay, this is the 158th show. Make sure that we're rumbling. Okay, so we're good on Restream. Shout out to the Restreamers. Thank you guys for joining. Let me check up on my bitches over on BitChute. Also, what is up with the views on BitChute? They're actually pretty decent. Some of these are getting almost 400 views. So yay! What's up, bitches? All right, let me make sure that we're looking good. 158th show. Okay, we're looking good on BitChute. Yay! Sure that we're rumbling. Yay! Let me go ahead and do like the problem that I had last week was everything needed to be updated, like the Elgato Stream Deck XLR thingy, or the Wavelink, whatever the heck they call it, the Stream Deck, some other things. My light wasn't even working properly, and now it does. Yay. The duct tape production continues. And my Restream chat, I just uninstalled it, reinstalled it, and it worked. Like, I know what my password is. I was like typing it in vigorously, and for whatever reason, it just didn't want to work. But now it does. So I can see my chat once again. So everybody please behave in the chat. I don't want to see any hostility, negativity, racism, or bigotry, or anti-Semitism, because as an ally, I find all that yucky behavior reprehensible. As a heckin' good person who's super wholesome, we just don't tolerate that here at the Watchfrogs. So let's have a clean show, okay? Let's have a good time tonight. This isn't gonna be super long, hopefully not, but yeah, man. Nick Fuentes ended up reaping a whirlwind of hatred and mockery because he was at a club with the boys, I guess, the mud-colored eyed boys and the mystery meat boys. So that's cool. And it's funny because like out of all the things that he's done or he said, it was him at a club that was kind of like, you know, the thing that ended up breaking the dam. And yeah, so Nick Fuentes' past of rainbow behavior and promoting PDF documents to his young followers. So I don't really care for Brittany Venti or watch any of her stuff because she's a woman, and I just don't really care what she has to say. However, I would be a liar if I were to say that her recent content wasn't absolute fire, wasn't absolutely entertaining and hilarious. And she ended up writing this article, and a lot of people be seething over 200,000 views on an article on X. So good for her. So Nick Fuentes, dollhouse, transformer chasing accusation, catboy rumors, general flamboyance, which isn't really a problem. I mean, I don't really care about that. The once an America First patriot now faces controversy for what many are calling promoting PDF documents, and many are now looking into his past. Yeah, so the guy's like going mainstream. He went from like hating and detesting Trump and his voters to being like, I don't know, like a pro-Trump dude, I guess, and also saying all kinds of weird stuff about Epstein, which I don't really care for. So let us never forget that 1 year ago today, our president Donald Trump was spared from sudden doom by God. Trump took a bullet so that he could live to cover up the Epstein PDF island and to bomb Iran for Israel. White and blue hearts. Very interesting. So he ends up. Let's just listen to the video here. Let's see what he says. says about Jeffrey Epstein.
This whole pedo thing, it's like, is it really pedophilia? I don't want to be the one that has to say it, but I guess I'm being forced to say it. It's not really pedophilia, okay?
Yeah,
they weren't trafficking 5-year-olds. It was like they were technically not legal. Big difference, in my opinion. I know that's a controversial take, but that's not really the issue there, okay? The issue is not that they were barely legal teens, which is what it is. It's horrendous. It's awful. It's pedophilia. Okay, relax. No, the issue is that Epstein is a Jewish spy probably working with Israel. That's the dilemma there. He's working with Israeli intelligence.
Okay, so it's not the fact that he preyed upon these young women, young girls, whatever. I mean, again, the evidence has yet to be fully presented to the public, and hopefully that changes soon. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, President Orange Man. But this is a very odd thing to say. I watch all this unfolding on the internet. And I think to myself, I'm so glad I never jumped on the Groyper stuff or jumped onto any of these fads on the internet, because as I've been reliably saying, this guy's main purpose is really to embarrass the so-called right, whatever that may be, embarrass the MAGA coalition just to make it like an untenable movement, if that's what you want to call it. I don't really know what to call it. A movement doesn't really sound right or accurate to me. But yeah, but it goes on. So Epstein's my boy. Yeah, so you guys have probably seen this already. I'm not really sure. This is a short clip.
Sometimes you got to be the villain. Epstein's my boy, dude. Let's just be honest. Epstein was cool as fuck. There, I said it. What are you going to do? Go ahead, cancel me. Yeah, I said it. Jeffrey Epstein was cool as fuck. Now what? Go ahead, cancel me. Do it. So sometimes we have to be the villain. Sometimes we have to be on a villain arc. That's okay. I'll be a little unpopular. I've been unpopular before. I like it better.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So he just keeps repeating the same stuff. Let's go down to the Ali Alexander stuff. So here we go. So this guy right here, this douchebag, used to be an operative. I think it was for Karl Rove. Now that I remember, Karl Rove, allegedly in a video game was into like young men. And apparently, Ali Alexander was no different. So, multiple photos of Nick Fuentes with Predator Ali Alexander. Nick, at the start of his career, compared Ali Alexander to an animal in the wilderness who is rainbow for the alt-right, and said he wasn't going to go after him for being a rainbow guy despite being a Christian. He said Ali did weird things. Ali is a closeted rainbow guy. Ali does not have an interesting or original thought in his brain. Yeah, this part is certainly true. And hopefully this guy fizzled out like a bad fart, kind of like disco music, which is that's not really fair to disco, because disco music is actually pretty good. Nick also mentions that Ali Alexander desires to do sexual things with fashy young white boys. What is this here?
It's funny. This Ali Akbar guy, he keeps dodging me. I don't know what it is. And it's this Ali. I'm a political flea. I shouldn't talk about him. And the reason I shouldn't talk about him is because, like, he's a nobody. But when I say that Ali is a nobody, that is not rhetoric. That is not like a bance. He's a nobody. Look on his Twitter. He gets no likes. He gets no retweets. He gets no replies. The engagement is terrible. It's worse. I had better engagement 9 months ago when I had 2,000 followers on Twitter. So I probably shouldn't talk about him, because anytime I talk about him, it's feeding him. The reason he comes at me is because he wants me to channel my audience into his. He is half black, half Arab, basically like a lefty. He's basically a Black Lives Matter guy. He did weird things with Karl Rove. And he pretends to be in the right wing, but at the same time, he has like this sick inferiority complex because he's black and because maybe he's a closeted homo. So he's like this alien. He's the most fascinating thing in the world to me. And not even like he's interesting. This guy does not have an interesting original thought in his brain, but interesting to observe like an animal in the wilderness, like when you see a spider crawling around your kitchen or whatever, and you kind of look at it and you're like, well, that's neat. Look at how it walks. Look at how it does things. And then here's the best part. I was talking to my buddy Steve about this. I have evidence that Ali is like literally gay for the alt-right. I can't share it, unfortunately, because there are reasons for this. But I have it on very good authority, confirmed by several sources, that this person is a legitimate homosexual. And like, not that there's anything wrong with it. Like, if he's going to do that, whatever, okay? In the Bible it says it's a sin. I disagree with it. Like, what, I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to come after him for that, right? But what's funny about it is he's going to go around saying like James Alsop and Richard Spencer have like this gay thing going on. And there's like abundant evidence.
All right, he might be right about the Richard Spencer thing. I'll give him that.
The quite literally, he would like to do things. He would like to interact in a sexual way with young, fashy, white boys, quite like myself, and like others. Abundant evidence that quite literally, he would like to do things. He would like to interact in a sexual way with young, fashy, white boys, mentally ill, neurotic, where he has all these different, like, competing demons in his head. He's black, he's Arabic, he's a closeted homo, but yet he's also American and conservative and right-wing. I'm sure in his mind it's just like, I don't even know, I can't imagine what it's like inside of there. What must it be like in there? What must it be?
Yeah, I don't want to get into the mind of a criminal. So you many years
movement
later,
politically to
response
take over
to
the
undeniable
country.
proof that Ali
And
Alexander
that involves
solicited
a
nude
great
photos
deal
from a
of
15-year-old
associations.
fan.
And sometimes they're not all good. It's as simple as that. If you have a problem with that, well, you try to build something. That's what I would say.
You can have whatever conversation you want with somebody 17. You can have any conversation you want with someone who's 17.
No, you can't. That's wrong.
Is that Elijah Schaefer? Fucking faggot. Is it? No, it's not him.
Disavow the slurs. God damn it! Now my stream's in trouble.
What you drink? Maybe a minute ago. What's going on here? Him and Ali was out here. I was like, I took Owen's short. I was like, Owen, Ali's a pedo, right? And he's like, why does everybody say that? I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah,
are you
right.
serious?
How do people not know?
And he's like, oh, I work for InfoWars, so I don't really deal with that.
Oh man, yeah. So this wasn't good, you guys. It's not really looking good for the Groper Bros, for the America First Bros. It's not looking good for the Israel Last Bros. Again, like, I don't know. Let me read this chat for no reason. Niggas a fed that gets paid in cat boys. It honestly wouldn't surprise me. Little girls want him. Old men want to be him. Megatoni is God. I disavow that. I don't know what it is, but I get so much matter about not protecting young guys from these dudes than I do about young chicks. Well, look, that's an interesting comment. And to a degree, like, if I can try to steelman that statement, it's like everybody wants to protect the girls, especially the little ones. There's all these groups trying to protect them. There's all these outreach programs, but for young men, especially the disaffected young guys out there, there doesn't appear to be that movement behind protecting these guys from serial predators on the so-called alt-right, whatever you want to call it. From these weird, creepy so-called influencers. There's no movement. There's no outreach program. There's not really like a lot of effort. You kind of sort of see it from like lefty douchebags who pretend to care about these young disaffected guys, and they would prefer, instead of watching like a Nick Fuentes or Fresh and Fraud, they watch like Destiny and Secular Cock instead. Whatever. Again, that's not really helpful. And I think there does need to be an answer to the Nick Fuentes question. It's like, what do we do to protect these young dudes who are spending a lot of time online, who have no political representation and don't have any like genuine positive role models in the real world? So they go online. And again, like, this is something that I can somewhat sympathize with and understand, because like I was an at-risk youth, but the people that I ended up watching or listening to when I was, let's say, Nick Fuentes' age was like Sam Harris, Richard Dawkins, Christopher Hitchens, Juden Peterson, that sort of thing. And it wasn't nefarious. For the most part, these men generally didn't mean harm onto people, even if some of their ideas are a little bit outdated and not really in vogue anymore. Like the new atheist movement, it's atheism is done. It's cringe. Nobody cares about it. Whatever. We've all moved on. And even myself, who was once a militant atheist, finds myself praying, finds myself wanting to defend churches from people like Don Lemon. And yeah, so like I just don't feel like there's enough positive. It sounds corny, but enough positive influences online, especially on the right, to kind of steer young dudes in the right direction, and not to turn out to be like a degenerate sex pest freak who promotes total hacks like Ali Alexander. And yeah, and that's so Zombie Bomb. I 100% sympathize with that. Okay, this isn't a hairstyle. God damn it! I don't want to hear that. I was on a motorcycle. All right, where are my scissors? I gotta cut this off right here so Zombie Bomb doesn't distract the show. So let's see. Um. So Buckaroo, I just bought a new house, moving soon, so I am replaced. So I am being replaced on my job, so I am able to catch the live stream. Buckaroo Bonsai, congrats on the house, man. I hope it works out for you. If you have any home improvement or contractor related questions, you can always reach out to me. So let me read some of these other ones. Let's see. On YouTube has a pretty good documentary about Fuentes. I wasn't entirely sure why people were saying it, but after watching that documentary, yes, Nick is a rainbow guy. Not sure if Fed, but rainbow. Yeah. Look, the Fed allegations are certainly not going away. His involvement on January 6th and him being able to wriggle his way out of that situation is incredibly sus. When even like other high profile content creators and so-called influencers like Owen Schroyer and I think James Lindsay or Jacob Lang, it's something Lang, Jake Lang. I don't know the guy's name. But like there's like dudes who were like prominent figures on the right who ended up going to prison. Like they did like a year or two, maybe 7 to 8 months, whatever. Like they did hard prison time. But for whatever reason, Nick Fuentes, who did say inflammatory things and certainly didn't help the situation. And again, this guy was mixed up with some really bad dudes like Ali Alexander, who was promoting some stuff that wasn't really true about the elections. He absolutely hurt our cause. Again, this is somebody who worked with Karl Rove, allegedly in a video game. This is what I heard. This is what I read. He was like a boy whore for Karl Rove. Karl Rove is a disgusting old white dude. And Ali Alexander, as explained by Nick Fuentes, is a very dark guy. And yeah, just completely sus. Just a lot of predatory behavior and degeneracy. And I think people should just be demanding more from the people that they watch and listen to. They should be expecting more from the people that they listen to. And this is a big problem because a lot of the people on the right, even people that are more like sympathetic towards like my so-called causes, like again, like I'm pro-Trump. I have faith in the president. But I'm not like a total like Trump sycophant. I'm not a butt sniffer. Those who read me, those who have listened to me know that like I criticize the administration when criticism is certainly due. But there are people who are like rah Trump that are absolutely misleading their fans. They don't understand polling. They don't know how to talk about the trajectory of the electorate. And as I see it, I think polling for the most part is flawed. I don't think he's as unpopular as is stated by people like Richard Barris and Robert Barnes, who are like completely chimping out like 24/7 online over stuff that is not really germane to Trump. It's like weird. They have this weird petty grievance towards the administration. I think it has to do with them being locked out of Trump world and them embellishing their place within Trump world. Like for example, like Robert Barnes. And it is confirmed. I looked it up on ChatGPT. So ChatGPT stated quite clearly that, and not only that, members of LawTube were able to confirm it, that Robert Barnes was embellishing his involvement in high-profile lawsuits, specifically the Covington Catholic boy incident, which is something that is very close to me, something that I talk about a lot, and really should have been like the end of the Democratic Party just because of how important their behavior was. But he was pretending to represent these kids, and these kids ended up blocking Robert Barnes. They wanted nothing to do with him. And Legal Mindset, a former member of LawTube, had to call him out and just like, dude, like you pretended to represent people, like you're a fucking liar. This guy is supposed to be a high-profile lawyer, very successful lawyer. This guy is on really popular podcasts and shows, and he's deliberately misleading people about this stuff, or at least he did, allegedly, right? I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, so there's just and then same with Richard Barris, like, you know, like I do believe this dude, like I know for a fact he's friends with members of the administration, like Sean Parnell. Sean Parnell's a good dude. I like Sean. And for the most part, like I don't really hate Richard Barris, but like, dude, the guy's got to be put in his place, man. The guy's being an emotional tampon. He's being a weepy vagina. And I think a lot of it has to do with him being shut out of Trump world. The guy wanted to run for the Senate in his state in North Carolina, and I don't believe he has a shot in hell. His past, his criminal behavior in the past can all be forgiven. He's been tried. He's been convicted. He's cleaned up his act. He's a productive member of society. I think he's a good father. I don't think he's a bad person, but I feel like, you know, he comes off as a scorned lover. And it shows. However, that doesn't mean that the things that he is saying that is negative or, you know, kind of like a pejorative against Trump is like untrue, because a lot of the stuff that I say he says as well. A lot of us are very impatient. We are kind of fed up, for lack of better words, and we want to see action. We want to see people arrested. Nick Shirley proved without a shadow of a doubt that there does appear to be legitimate industrial scale fraud that is not just ongoing in Minneapolis, but all throughout the country. And, it's not hee-hee-ha-ha time. I don't want to see memes from President Trump anymore. I don't want to see mean tweets. And it's not that the mean tweets or the memes offend me, because they don't. It's just, I don't think they're funny. And I think we're at a point in American history, a very pivotal point in American history, where it's like, it's not hee-hee-ha-ha time anymore. Like, we got to take the shit seriously, because if we get this wrong, if they fail, I don't think they appreciate what failure looks like. Because if they did, they would probably be taking this a lot serious. Like, I don't want to see a skinny Trump and a skinny JD Vance dancing in some shitty AI video while Cat Turd is masturbating furiously in the corner. Like, I don't want to see that. Like, it's not funny. Like, you guys need to arrest Tim Walz, Joe Gloria, Stacey Abrams, James Comey, little Jimmy Clapper, like all these fucking people, John Brennan, Bill Barr, like these people need to go to fucking prison. They need to be dragged through the courts. They need to be dragged before Congress. They need to just be constantly before Congress answering difficult questions under oath. They need to be inside of a court, nonstop defending themselves from serious criminal allegations. They need to be just routinely harassed in every meaningful way possible, the way that our president was harassed, along with his friends and his allies and family. Because if they don't do that, they are going to seize power after the midterms. They're just completely destroy the Republicans in the midterms, and they're going to do everything I just said, but to the good guys. And they're not taking it seriously. So my hope is that they know things that we don't. And it seems like that's how they've been operating. So I do remain optimistic, but nonetheless, I share everybody's frustration. We all know that Trump is lying about the Epstein files. Trump in 2016 was on a stage with Sean Hannity, and he said, Bill Clinton is in fucking trouble. This guy is in trouble, and it's related to the Epstein Island, that island that Epstein owned. We all seen the video. These guys were photographed with the alleged victims of Epstein. And it's like, okay, the midterms are a little over 11 months away. Literally a little over 11 months away. Can we get conviction charges? Can we get a tweet saying, hey, Tom Hanks, you're on fucking notice? Or something like, hey, all these douchebags that were all cozy with Epstein and you guys wanted to talk shit, things are going to come out. The best thing you guys can do is reach out to the DOJ, plead your case to us, and because we're building a case and we're going after people. Those who come forward with evidence and confessions, it might go a little bit easier for you. Who knows? You should say something like that. I think that would be pretty nice, and I think the American public deserves it. I gave a lot of leeway to the administration because I feel like I know what they're doing. And you can't just do everything at once because it doesn't really work that way. You got to play this out strategically. Like, I get it. But right now, people are losing hope that they're going to do anything at all, especially with that with that fiasco in Minneapolis where these degenerate criminals, these violent insurrectionists, were storming a Christian church, accosting the people. They were terrorized beyond belief. They're just traumatized. And again, like that, they were literally violating their civil rights. They were literally committing multiple crimes by inserting themselves into that service, screaming at these people, threatening them, etc. And no, man, I'm over it. I'm over it. Again, no mean tweets, no memes. Let's get some action going. Or people like Nick Fuentes are going to end up controlling the narrative. They're going to end up wrestling a lot of Trump's fans, Trump's voters away from him, including the independents, because Nick Fuentes is saying, I know not in this article, but like he's generally saying what needs to be done. Like, people need to go to prison. Like, people need to go to jail. So yeah. Let's see. I think YouTube might have nuked the comment. I don't know what comment it is. Put on cat ears and get to work. Absolutely not. I will not be wearing those cat ears. Maybe if I got like $100 super chat, I would probably wear cat ears again. If it's for money, I would do it. But anything else, no. Hold on 1 second, you guys. So yeah. Yeah, Nick Fuentes is sus, man. Absolutely sus. It only gets worse. So yeah, so we got an article here. Awkward moment. Virgin Nick Fuentes is asked if he wants to party with girls at the Heil Hortler night out. Yeah, see this kind of thing actually makes him look kind of cool. Not the avoiding the chick stuff. Surprisingly, for these guys being spooky Nazis, enjoying their Hitler night or whatever, they have a lot of cuties out there with them. So let's see what this article has to say. So Nazi-loving troll Nick Fuentes was filmed squirming when asked if he wanted to party with women, just weeks after admitting that he's a 27-year-old virgin. You know, unpopular opinion, but I'm not sure if I believe the virgin allegations. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not really convinced. Fuentes looked horrified at the request as he partied last Thursday with other influencers at a Miami club that agreed to play Kanye West's wildly banned Nazi song Heil Hortler. Yeah, dude, people are gonna get fired for doing that. That DJ, it probably wasn't as well. The DJ's probably in trouble. Whoever allowed that song to be played at that club is in a lot of fucking trouble. The club already issued a a massive statement. They're like, oh yeah, we love everybody. Everyone's allowed to party in our club without, being subjected to anti-Semitism. A humiliating clip showed him being approached by Braden Peters, a controversial look-maxing influencer known as Clavicular, who asked him excitedly, yo, Nick, I'm going to bring some girls over for you. Fuentes looking flustered, put his hands up, and immediately begged him not to, responding awkwardly, no, I'm good. Oh, man. Fuentes, a proudly anti-Semitic far-right podcaster, revealed last month that he is still a virgin and that he finds women difficult to be around, but insisted he's still attracted to them. Are you actually attracted to women? British journalist Piers Morgan bluntly asked Fuentes during a combative 2-hour interview on Piers Morgan Uncensored. I am attracted to women, the white nationalist responded. Yeah, he's the brownest white nationalist there is. Yeah, sure. Again, come on, New York Post, do fucking better than that. Yeah, last guy named Fuentes. Yeah, he's a white nationalist. Yeah, sure. But I will say that women are very difficult to be around. So there's that. So yeah, this is one of the images that people are just, just absolutely just roasting these guys. And they're like, I can't believe this is the face of the red pill. And sadly, that's really what it boils down to. The red pill has become kind of embarrassing to be associated with, largely because of these guys. And it's something that I've brought up before on the channel. And it's like, look, like originally the red pill had nothing to do with dating, had nothing to do with looks maxing or any of this bullshit. It was just about seeing the world for how it really is, being blunt and honest about the harsh realities of contemporary modern society, and not falling for the hoaxes, not falling for the propaganda, and just being fucking real with it. And again, like, does that sound like the red pill? Well, it's something completely different now. And it's really, really horrible that it's been hijacked by people like this. So, again, what do we got here? So, on the far left here, no pun intended, we got Catboy lover, allegedly, potentially rainbow guy, possible fed, Nick Fuentes. And then to his right, Myron Gaines. I don't know. He's got a real Muslim name. I don't know what it is. This guy's a Fed. Tristan Tate. I don't know too much about him, so I'm just going to leave him out of it. But his brother was there, Andrew Tate. The guy was a pornographer. The guy was pretending to be a woman on the internet. Like most brown guys on the internet, they use avatars of white women to trick idiots by posting slop. We got Sneeko in the back. Confirmed cuckold, and just a bandwagon follower. Not really interesting, but whatever. I don't know who this guy is. And then, of course, Clavicular. I didn't know who this is. I don't really know anything about him. But I guess he like ran someone over, but somehow it's still free. So I guess good for him. He probably was not in the wrong. Yeah, I ended up having to mute this guy's name in different variations of it because I don't care about these people. I don't think any of them are interesting. They have nothing to offer anybody. accept lies and degeneracy. And I don't know, maybe there's some entertainment value in some of this, at least in Nick Fuentes, because Nick Fuentes is legitimately funny. Tristan and Andrew Tate can be kind of funny. Myron Gaines' show, Fresh and Fraud, like I don't watch it, but I've seen clips here and there, and like I get why people would enjoy it, but yeah, it's not for me. It's not for me at all. So yeah, I feel like the most normal one here would probably be Clavicular, just because like I don't really know him, but he seemed like the only one who kind of like fits into the club scene, and he felt really comfortable around the chicks. Yeah, this dude's just standing there, Nick Fuentes, and he's just like, no, I don't want to be around women, which is kind of weird. Why would you agree to go to a club? It's almost like entirely women and like a handful of men. Well, that's usually how it is in the club scene. They don't want to flood the zone with a bunch of wieners. So yeah. Yeah, let's see. Zombie Bond, Jill would do anything for $100. Almost anything. Almost anything. A lot of women like fringe guys these days. So if you are a Nazi and or a race realist, they're into that. Yeah, but you can't really like advertise that shit. Like if you're like a regular dude, like you can't really advertise that shit on the internet. Because you'll just ruin your life. Chicks love a bad boy, and you don't get much worse than a racist. Yeah, apparently being a racist is like the worst thing in the world. Like there was a really hilarious post, a comment in one of these Discord channels that I'm in for like dissident artists, like really talented ones, and they were somebody was posting about Peaky Blinders, and they were mocking the main characters in the show. They're like, yeah, we kill, we rape women, we steal. We subvert our own government, but at least we're not fucking racist, mate. And just shit like that. It's really funny. It's kind of lame, dude. TV shows are so fucking lame. I don't even watch TV. I gave Stranger Things 5 like a chance. I watched like the first 3 episodes of season 5. Just because like I watched most of the show already. But I'm out, guys. I'm done. I can't consume that goy slop. It's pure goy slop. So you've been warned. Okay. Let's see. And yes, that actually is a club. I was told, and a lot of people got fired for even letting those guys in. I heard this on the Kino Casino. That's really interesting, Buckaroo. I haven't watched Kino yet. I know they were roasting them, so that'd be kind of interesting to see. Wow, he is really short. Sneeko the Cuck. You could get a Swazzy tattoo. No, I'm not gonna get any tattoo. I refuse to be marked. The Lord would not appreciate that. Yeah. So if it is a club that is associated with those types of people, yeah. I don't know about like denying them entry. And it's like, look, dude, if they're gonna pay like this table right here, it wouldn't surprise me if they dropped 4 to 5K on this table alone. So there would be about like 13, 15 people, mostly women at this table. They probably spent a lot of money. So yeah, like, I don't know, denying them entry is kind of lame, but I mean, they went and they embarrassed the club owners. They embarrassed management by requesting N-word Heil Hortler song to be played in this club. I wish there was a video of the other people in the club that wasn't at this goofy table just to see the reactions, like were people into it? Cause I don't know, like I don't like Kanye West. Some of his older music is okay, but like new Kanye is cringe. Kanye's like political arc is cringe, and the Jesus is King stuff was a fucking grift, and a lot of these dorks ended up falling for it. So yeah, it's kind of embarrassing that so many people would just like latch onto this guy and his shitty music. But again, I get that this is a joke and it's supposed to be funny, and the article itself is just ruthlessly mocking Nick Fuentes, and it's weird. Out of all the things that he's done and said, and these nefarious people that he's associated himself with, it was him enjoying himself at a club and being silly. Like, this is what like people hate the most. And it's funny because like a lot of the posts like on like Twitter or like Facebook, like anybody who's like legitimately having fun and they post like a wholesome like innocent video where they're just like dancing and being silly, like you just see like a torrent of comments like, yo, fuck these people, man, how fucking dare they. Like there was another video of like one of the Stranger Things kids. I forget which one. The guy with the curly hair, the short little chubby dude, and he was like in a club just going like just wilding out, and people were like just shitting on him. And it's like, dude, like whatever. He's like a 22-year-old, 23-year-old kid, and he's just like enjoying himself. Like, who cares? But yeah, it's a lot different when it's like Nick Fuentes and his goons. Like people are kind of sick of this shit. Yeah. So again, like in regards to politics, because this is what this is all about. These people are just not as significant as they think they are. Again, like what brought Trump what got Trump over the finish line were the Make America Healthy Again moms, the Maha moms, just like regular working class people who ended up, being appealed to when they heard that we're not going to tax the tips, we're not going to tax the overtime, that sort of thing. It's like, yeah, we're going to put more money in your pocket. You're going to keep more of the money that you earn. See, that's a winning strategy. Doing all the shit that these dorks are doing, I don't think any of that is meaningful. Again, people want to like call Nick like a MAGA leader. Like, this guy does not like Trump. This guy hates Trump. He's antagonistic towards the president and his voters. Plain and simple. I emphasize to so many people, it's like, dude, don't latch onto these groups. Don't latch on to don't have parasocial relationships with people that you don't know. Just do your own thing, live a good life, live a clean life, and, vote accordingly. That's really the best we can do right now. Let's see. Clubs are so gross and cringe. Depends which club. Or you can paint one on your bike. No, Zombie Bomb, I'm not interested in getting my ass beat while I'm on my motorcycle. I bet women would go crazy for those zombie lenses. I think they sound kind of cool. I don't know. Visually, they would look cool. Political meaning aside. Okay, so we're done with Nick. Let's see. What else have we got here? All right. We need to talk about white men. Oh, boy. For context, I am a white woman. I keep seeing videos and praise for the suburban soccer mom standing up to ICE. I have a lot of white women friends who are absolutely panicking and distraught about the fall of our country to fascism. Yeah, all that is over exaggeration and cringe. Again, a lot of these women probably watch Stranger Things. They watch what's that stupid show, The Handmaid's Tale, and they're like, "Oh, this is what's happening." Oh, yeah. I mean, that's their that's their tether to politics, right? That's their base point, and so they're just not going to get it. So the majority of them have male partners who are not MAGA, but for whatever reason cannot bear to accept what is happening. My friends tell me their spouse either finds it too disturbing, cannot emotionally process, doesn't want to talk about it, minimizes, makes jokes. And this is a one-off. I wouldn't say anything, but it's a pattern. I know there are a lot of white men in this group, and thank you for taking this seriously. Can you please talk with other white men that you may be friends with and encourage them to care? Women are putting themselves face to face with ICE agents and getting their heads blown off. Well, that only happened to one person, and she was not just merely face to face with him. She drove her vehicle into an innocent man, and he defended himself accordingly. Please, we need more men involved if we're going to fight back in any measurable way. I can't stand seeing post after post of we need to do something now, and then going to protest and seeing mostly women. Yeah, white men are tapped out. I mean, again, this is a far leftist group, a part of what I consider a terrorist organization. So the members of the 5051 subreddit community, in my opinion, these people are terrorists. These people are absolute terrorists. And for those who haven't been paying attention, there has been a lot of hatred, animus, and antagonizing type behavior against white men. And even liberal white men are like, yeah, this is stupid, and I don't really give a fuck anymore. Like, I'm not going to support Orange Man, but I'm not going to, go out of my way and endanger my life and ruin my career or get injured for these scammers, these frauds, these daycare fraudsters. I'm not going to go out there and defend some shitty college that wants to racially discriminate against people who look like me. So even there is an element of truth here where the white guys or just even the liberal woke dudes are kind of like, no, I'm just not doing this. And I feel bad for them, because they're dating these stupid women. And again, I just look, for a one-time thing, sure, a liberal woman might be fun. But seriously dating for marriage, for family and stuff, this is sad, because I hate to insert politics into relationship matters, but politics is mainstream. And if you get mixed up with one of these stupid resist lib chicks, she's going to get herself killed. She's going to get you wrapped up in her lunacy. She's going to want you to get involved in things that got nothing to do with you. They're like, yeah, we're going to impede these lawful investigations into these illegal alien criminals. And we're going to get into the faces of ICE. We're going to duke it out in the snow. It's like, why? I have a fucking job. I can't be fucking around getting involved in shit that ain't got nothing to do with me. And I mean, that's really what it boils down to. It's like none of this has to do with me. But yeah, again, it's not enough to agree with them. It's not enough to be like an ally. You have to be confrontational towards law enforcement. You have to endanger your own life and well-being. You have to risk your own career to appease the modern Democratic partisan hack. And they're talking about this. I mean, look at this. This has got like a lot of updoots. Ugh, gross. Shit. So in election related news, Marc Elias, somebody who I've crossed paths with before. We meet again. So there has been claims, we talked about this briefly before, where Trump will pressure the Venezuelan administration to support the so-called big lie that they powered the left or powered the theft of American elections. He's worried legacy media will both sides it and big Democrat law firms will stand aside as a scheme is revealed. Time code 31 minutes. I have not seen this, so we are going to go ahead and see what Marc Elias is crying about.
It has been a full year since Donald Trump took office, and boy, president of Venezuela had secretly rigged the voting machines in the United States. Anyway, you're going to find Donald Trump's administration pressuring people in Venezuela right now to buy into that. And what's the legacy media going to do? They're going to report it. They'll both sides it. What is powerful technology companies going to do? They'll platform it. What are the big law firms going to do? Absolutely nothing. What will the lawyers at the government do when someone challenges them? You know, if I go to court or someone else goes to court, what the government lawyers are going to do, they're going to defend Donald Trump, right? That's what I'm trying to tell you, is that these big institutions that were going to protect us, they've become part of the other side. They're just not even neutral in most instances. They're actually helping Trump.
You guys know the rules. If he bald, he molest.
And you're going to see that with Venezuela
in a video game.
You've already seen it in the both sides coverage and the fawning coverage that legacy media is giving Pete Hegseth and the Trump administration. You're already seeing it in that you're not going to see big law firms suing the Trump administration on behalf of the families or other people who were victimized in this attack.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So again, this guy was like the top Democrat lawyer. He's one of the most effective lawyers in the country. I hate to say that. And there are times where he was correct. Again, I was a part of this campaign. I don't want to really get too much into it because of, I got fired from it and shit because I stood on fucking principle and I wasn't going to cheat. But there were people making a lot of money allegedly in a video game, forging signatures. Marc Elias comes out of nowhere, comes to Vegas, and he fucking handles that shit. And he was able to prove definitively that signatures were forged, there was fuckery afoot, and they spent millions of dollars on this campaign, and it just up in smoke, up in flames. Marc Elias is not a fucking joke. This is not someone you should underestimate. So when he's coming out and saying Trump is going to do this, he now, to hear it out of his mouth is like music to my ears. There's truth to it, guys. And again, I was not necessarily skeptical because of my background in elections, but my specific focus was universal mail-in ballots, zero signature checks, no chain of custody. There's no genuine, legitimate auditing process. People think recounting votes is auditing. No, that's not it. Anybody can count anything. That's not an audit. You need to compare and contrast. All right, so we have 1,000 digital votes for candidate John Smith, but we only have 600 paper documents that are correlated with these votes. Where are the others? Where are the few hundred others that are missing? Why are they not there? I mean, that's an audit. And that didn't really take place. Even now, as we speak, Governor Kemp and his goon in Georgia, Brad Raffensperger, they're hiding the paper trail. They're hiding voter data. They're hiding evidence that would prove Trump's case. Plain and simple. And I feel that, look, President Trump has already come out publicly like recently, even like a day or two ago. I think it was today. He's like, we got everything. We know what they did, how they did it, why they did it, and you guys are going to see it real soon. So now he's saying, Marc Elias is saying, when Trump does this, when he pressures Venezuela and Venezuelan officials step forward before a microphone and said, yeah, we fucked Trump in the ass in 2020 to help the Democratic Party. We stepped forward in 2022 to do the same exact thing. And he's like, the tech companies aren't going to do anything. What does he expect them to do? He expects them to censor our lawful speech in rejecting the regime-approved narrative that Joe Biden got 6 gazillion votes. Nobody believes that. Even Democrats don't fucking believe that. It's bullshit. And he's like, oh, these other high-priced lawyers, these other very talented lawyers like Marc Elias himself, they're not going to step forward either, according to Marc Elias, because Trump is just going to eat them alive, and he probably will. You know, if the case or whatever, Trump is going to win this in the court of public opinion before it wins in the court of law. That's what I believe is going to happen. I think the evidence is overwhelming. Again, I was there. I was fucking there. And I linked up with a lot of people in Nevada during the Stop the Steal era. People who were like also there and they've seen more than I have. And yeah, fuck the media. Yeah, the media is going to both sides it. The media at the time, they want to pretend like, oh, we're transparent. You know, we give everybody a fair shake. I did a really great interview with, I think it was LA Times, because LA Times was there, or some major LA publication was present out here at the election department. And like, I fucking nailed it, man. It was one of my greatest speeches. It was a great interview. And I asked them at the end, I'm like, hey, are you guys going to like publish this? They said no. So fuck them. Everybody knows that they're going to prevent guys like me, or if they were still in power, they still had control of the narrative. They would not both sides it. It would just be overwhelmingly Trump bad, Trump stupid, poopy orange Hitler. He's mad. He's big mad because he lost because he's a big poopy baby and his voters are low IQ and a bunch of like hicks and shit. You know, fuck them. So yeah, good. I'm glad he's scared. It's afraid, guys. It's afraid. And again, I'm not a trusted planner. I don't do the QAnon bullshit. But when it comes from guys like Marc Elias, and he's making these very bold predictions of how this is going to play out, I tend to think he's right. Again, I was already kind of in agreement with this, but I don't really want to get ahead of myself. But this is where we're at now. Megatony is God. Who deleted my perfectly pleasant comment? I did not. I do not moderate the chat. I can't. Let's see. His neck is trying to become a known entity. All right, you guys are roasting Marc Elias needlessly. Here, let me go ahead and downvote this. Fuck this guy. Let me read what some of the comments are saying. Keep putting the truth out there, Marc. Marc, your work and your voice are greatly appreciated. You are a real profile in courage. I appreciate you more than words can express. A much needed voice in these dark times. I agree with you across the board. Thankful for what you do. Yeah, so a lot of butt sniffers in this comment section. So I gotta leave a comment. Yo, fuck Marc Elias. He's a bitch. He's a bitch. Total fraud. 2020 was rigged. Moon landing is fake. Trump won 3 elections. All right, so there we go. All right, so yeah, what's up? And I downvoted it. Fuck Marc Elias. All right, guys, we got to move on. So again, we're going to be keeping an eye on this story. We're going to be following this. The watchfrogs are on the ground watching everything. And man, you guys are probably going to see me, Alex Jones, cry when I'm finally vindicated. And all those times people were like, oh, that boy crazy. Yo, Froggy lost his fucking mind. He's out of control. I'm gonna give the biggest middle finger to the screen and say, fuck you, I was right. On your fucking knees. Let the ass kissing begin. Oh, good riddance. So we got, this probably could have belonged in Cringe. I thought this was Vegas, but it looks like there's snow on the ground because the background kind of looked like downtown. So political violence, anti-ICE fascists require pedestrians to prove they aren't with ICE. Police allow this behavior in Ohio. Oh, so this is in Ohio. Jesus. All right, well, let's see what's going on here.
Can't say it? Hey, why don't you uncover your face, your ugly fucking face, bitch? You can't say it?
Get out of my face.
No, fuck you. What you gonna do about it, bitch? I don't fuck with Ice. They call me Ice K. What up, bitch? They call me Ice K, you fuck boy. Say that shit, you ugly bitch. Hey, what's your name, bitch? Other than bitch. What's your name other than bitch? Huh? I said, what's your name, bitch? Bitch? What's up? Come get it. Come get it. Where you going? Huh? Are you Ice?
No.
Do you like ice? Say fuck ice! Say it! Say it, bitch! You're a bitch and your mom's a bitch! Say it! Fuck you! Fuck you, Nazi! Fuck you, Nazi! Fuck you, Nazi! Fuck you, Nazi! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Camera out of my face.
Or what, bitch? What are you gonna do? Bow! Ugly bitch! Yeah!
Piece of shit.
Wow. He comes off like a linguist for sure. Again, it's not enough for these people to, and this is the pattern that I'm noticing with the left, because they operate like a hive mind. They operate like the Zerg from StarCraft. You know, they operate like the Tyranids. You know, they consume everything around them. So it's not enough to just be, you know, okay, he's not ice. Okay, it doesn't matter if he's ice or not. Obviously, he's not. But now he needs to profess his hatred towards law enforcement. And the guy's not caving in, so kudos to the dude for keeping his cool. It's not enough for these people. Again, they will not be stopped until they're stopped. I don't know if the Insurrection Act is necessary at this point, but I would have liked to have seen the police present to deal with him in the harshest way imaginable. You know, go Rodney King on his ass. Because this behavior is not acceptable, you guys. This is not acceptable, and this is the world that we live in. And Don Lemon and his goons, they ended up doing this at a Christian church. You know, like they went into a church, and what stood out to me the most, in that Don Lemon video, where him and his Antifa goons or whatever, those losers, they ended up storming the church, and they were saying things like, well, you look like you're living well. You look like you're comfortable. You got nice clothes. You got jewelry, but you're not out there protesting with us or rioting. Really, you're not assaulting ICE with us. So again, it's not enough for people to just be living their lives, wanting to be left alone. They're not going to leave us alone. That's a harsh reality of it, which is why I'm always, you know, professing to the audience, to the listeners, wherever you may be enjoying the show, to make sure that you're registered to vote. Make sure you're registered as a Republican. Don't listen to Trump's nominations. His nominees generally suck. But vote in the primaries. Let's get the good guys. You know, let's get the good guys to win their primaries. Let's get people who are going to put America first, and I think we'll be okay. Because that's like the least we can do. All right. Again, like sitting on the sidelines is not really an option anymore, because they're coming after everybody. Random guy walking down the street, innocent families sitting in a church, literally praying and singing. They're coming after these people. They're getting in their face or threatening them. And yeah, we need to see charges. I'm sick and tired of Pam Bondi just sitting on her ass or going on these stupid podcasts, going on stupid Fox News. Again, I don't want to see memes. I don't want to see interviews. I don't want to see tough guy rhetoric. I want to see action. We got action with Biden. Granted, it was evil, but Biden and his goons, those motherfuckers were gangsters. They were torturing people. They were torturing the MAGA chuds in prison. They were rallying them up. They're, you know, rounding them up. They weren't fucking around, man. Those guys were playing for keeps. They were arresting and putting in prison Trump's supporters, his allies. And even right now, Tina Peters is still being tortured in a prison in Colorado. We're in bad shape. Dude, Tina Peters needs to get out of prison. They need to send in the fucking Marines and get her out the way that they got Maduro out. I'm not even kidding. Like, that's what we need. She needs to be in protective custody. She needs to be treated as a high profile whistleblower. They need to get her out like right now. This isn't a fucking joke. And again, what they're doing to Tina Peters, what they did to the J6ers, they're going to do to people like myself. First, they're going to take my voice then they're gonna find something to to pin against me, and they're gonna throw me in fucking jail along with other like right wingers who aren't like on the take, who aren't like grifters or whatever, like Nick Fuentes. Like they're gonna go after like the true believers, and yeah, like none of us are safe until these people are stopped. Trump has the power to do it. Will he? I don't know. I'm hoping that he will. Pam Bondi allegedly is in Minneapolis right now, so she's not on Fox News, so that's good. She's not at Israel First conference, so that's good. She's in Minneapolis. I think Harmeet Dillon herself might be there. No, she's in DC. She's in DC right now. She's meeting with some people, but yeah. Insurrection. Let's see. State of Dispatch. Insurrection Act. Arrest the rogue politicians and those on the Epstein list. I agree. He needs to be stream sniped. I don't think this guy was streaming. I think he was just randomly filming. I mean, the guy sounds like an unhinged drug addict schizo. These are what the drug addicts in Vegas sound like. You like these drug addicts in Vegas, like they're walking around. They're like, it sounds like they're on the phone, like they're talking to somebody on the phone, but they don't have a phone in their hand. They're just talking and screaming at themselves, and it's so jarring. And this is what the modern leftist partisan Democrat activist sounds like to me. That's literally what it sounds like. Just total lunacy. So this went viral. There was another one that had quite a few views. This one had almost 40,000. If I was law enforcement in a Democrat state, I would be embarrassed as hell. This is the reason so many officers in blue cities are leaving the police department to go work with ICE. Yeah, because ICE is unleashing their agents on actual criminals, and they're getting rid of them. Like, what is the solution to this guy here? Well, I know what it is. Charging with battery and assault, criminal harassment, disturbing the peace. Just don't stop. These people have to be stopped. Oh, look at that. Oh, he has a Chase Bank glove. Interesting. He's probably a teller or something. Oh man, yeah, this is out of control, guys. This is out of control. All right, let's talk about Miss Rachel and her tired horse shit. Insurrection. Let me see. Let me read something. I feel like that man is way too old to just let some guy yell at him like that. The same guy does that to other people as well. He's made a lot of these videos. Ooh, Buckaroo Banzai. That's interesting. I haven't seen the other videos. I get that maybe you'd not fight him, but someone my age should be used to doing that. I don't know what I would do. I'd probably just ignore him, to be honest. I just don't want to deal with drug addicts. I want drug addicts to stay the fuck away from me. So Matt Walsh posts, this is more like pop culture. He posts a lot of conservatives. I should probably play creepy music. Yeah. So a lot of conservatives criticize Miss Rachel because she's a far left propagandist. Fair enough, but I hated her content long before she went political. These YouTubers who churn out slop for toddlers are almost always creepy and weird, and the slop is not edifying or educational for kids. Dressing up in overalls and talking like a toddler is not how you teach young children or help them grow. Don't talk down to kids or patronize them. Think about Mr. Rogers. He didn't speak to kindergartners like a kindergartner. He was the wholesome grandfatherly figure. That's the right vibe for children's content. Miss Rachel is nothing but a slop merchant. I totally agree. I think that's accurate. So the mayor of New York, Zohran Mamdani, this morning, Miss Rachel and I visited District 2, a pre-K center where we sang and read with the wonderful students and educators. We also discussed universal child care and how we're making it happen in New York City. Yeah, guys, I have a bad feeling about universal child care. I just don't like the idea of parents foregoing the responsibility of raising your own kids and pawning them off to violent ideologues like Miss Rachel and Zohran Mamdani and people like him. I think that's a really terrible thing. I would prefer that parents raise their own children. I would prefer that parents be actively involved in the educational process. Unfortunately, in New York, the opposite is happening. Since Zohran is like vowing to like give like $6 gazillion to all these daycare Somali-like scam organizations. So And that's also going to be happening in Virginia now that they have a supermajority in that state. But he continues. He continues. Let's see. Where's Matt Walsh? He does a lot of responding. Also, some of this woman's videos are intended for babies. Who in the hell is sitting their baby in front of a screen to watch YouTube? We've been through the baby phase with 6 children, and never once have I been even vaguely tempted to put on a YouTube video for them. Total madness. Sit down and read them a book or something. Stop being lazy. Yeah, I 100% agree with this. As somebody who used to work with children and kind of understands this better than most people, besides parents, of course. Yeah, you want to read to children, and you don't want to talk to them like let's read the ABCs. Oh, you don't want to talk to them like a fucking retard and shit. Like that's just not good. Like you have to talk to them like a normal person. Maybe speak a little bit softer. Maybe speak a little bit slower. Have a little bit more patience in your tone. Because you're speaking to a child. I can see that. Again, like the wholesome grandfatherly figure that Mr. Rogers was. But none of this horse shit. Yeah, dude, Miss Rachel is kind of weird and cringe. I totally agree with that. And I ended up watching a couple videos just to get a sense, of like what this bitch is about. And I totally agree. So Jesus Zaniga, that doesn't sound really America first to me. You're wrong, Matt. Kids need both dynamics of parenting to grow and learn. Yeah, and Miss Rachel is none of those things. The pragmatic father talking to the child with respect and a soft mother who is warm and loving. Stop being weird. Okay, yeah, but none of this is on display in any of Miss Rachel's videos. Miss Rachel is not your child's mother. Her slop is neither warm nor loving based. It's obnoxious, grating, over the top, and ridiculously patronizing. Yeah, Miss Rachel talks to these kids the way that these violent activists talk to like ICE officers. I mean, that's how Renee Good. That's exactly how Renee Good talked to that one ICE officer, where she's like, "Oh, dude, it's all good, bro. I'm not mad, bro." She's like being snarky, and again, like it sounds lighthearted. I know the left wants to pretend that like, oh, she was just being so empathetic. She was just empathying all over the place. Like that's not what was on display. I know if you're an idiot, it sounds like that, but her words, her attitude is dripping with anger and resentment and contempt. And again, like I like to look beyond the obvious, I like to look beyond, I use my intuition to kind of see what's behind the words, what's behind the attitude. And I definitely sense something dark and nefarious in the tone of Miss Rachel, in the atmosphere of her content. I'm not a big fan due to her politics, particularly gender theory, but my 2.5-year-old knows all her letters, numbers, and primary colors and can count to 20, mostly from watching Miss Rachel. Al Waysright? Yeah, it doesn't sound really America first to me. You should very easily be able to impart that knowledge to your children without the help of YouTube slot merchants. In fact, parents successfully did that for thousands of years before Miss Rachel arrived on the scene. So I, of course, like that a lot. What is this? Ugh, God. Can't stand this fucking freak. Yeah, I don't know. I think Matt Walsh is right. I know we've criticized Matt Walsh quite a bit here on the show. Because he does say a lot of stupid shit, but I think he's just dead. He's dead correct here. He's just right on the money. All right, let me read some of these comments here. You guys the chat is active. I love it. You guys are great. Thank you guys. And again, shout out to all the bitches over on BitChute and the Rumblers. Thank you for joining. Sincerely appreciate it. I tend to agree. Let me see. Let me scroll up here. Matt Walsh is still relevant? ? Wow, Stated Dispatch. You're so edgy and cool. Fuck off. No, I'm kidding, man. Let's see. Buckaroo Buns, I tend to agree with Walsh. Women today have a huge problem with talking to and treating kids in a very immature and only playful, fun way for most of human history. Let's see. Sauron is doing a what face? I don't know what that means. There was no Sesame Street or TV puppets or media aimed at kids. Yeah, there was. In the 90s, when I was a baby, I watched a lot of Sesame Street. It wasn't politically charged, but PBS had a lot of really fun shows for kids that, as far as I remember, wasn't, how do I put it, subversive. The creepy music while Gio talks about kids is so peak. Thank you, Brad Skag. Oh my God, Gio, bend one of your thick spikes into a swat. No. What is a woman, Gio? I'm not going to answer that question, all right? you know, a woman is kind of like a car. Like, you know, when you see one, you know, like you just know what it is. Like it's not a really difficult question. It's so weird that, you know, somebody like Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown doesn't know what it is. And even during the like, if you've been listening to the Transformer case that's being argued at the Supreme Court, by the way, they're gonna rule against the Transformers. What's up, Chaz? Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, I'm doing really good. Thank you. But yeah, I was listening to that Supreme Court case, and dude, like, those people were just not able to define what a woman is, like, even like on a technical level. And I'm just like, this isn't hard. This isn't hard. I don't know why people are struggling. Yeah, but fuck Miss Rachel. Yeah, just something evil about her. I can sense it. I can feel it in my bones. And yeah, like when I have kids, dude, the kids are not gonna have a cell phone until they're like maybe 16 or 17 years old. I hope that's like a trend that like starts picking up real soon, where parents are like opting out of giving their kids cell phones. The billionaires don't do it. Mark Zuckerberg doesn't give his kids cell phones. Because they know the damage that those social media apps, you know, and not only that, like, I talked about, like, people having access to me. Dude, like, imagine people having access to your fucking kids, man. People having access to children is just such a bad thing, dude. Like, it's what I hate about the internet the most. Like, I have, like, zero, like, inclination to, like, seek out, you know, kids and shit. And there's just like so many fucking weirdos like Miss Rachel and others that just like want to talk to the kids. They want to like put their shit in front of the kids, and it's just so fucking weird and creepy, man. There ought to be a law against it. Like, if there was like a law where it's like, yeah, you can't go on the internet until you're like 15 years old, I would support it. I'm not even kidding. I think I would support it. Or like they only have to like have like a super sanitized version of it where they can only go on like, you know, I don't know, maybe like Amazon or something. You know, they can go to like their school's website. They can log into like some educational portal so they can like do their homework or whatever. But like having access to like Discord and like Twitter and like all these other like social media platforms where like these creeps, these degenerate freaks just have way too easy access to kids. I don't like it, man. I don't like the idea of these violent far leftist activists like Miss Rachel being able to put their fucking degenerate slop on the internet, and then just so many kids like flocking to it. And I know there's a lot of parents that just don't know better. And, you know, because they're like, oh, well, this harmless woman in pink overalls, you know, singing like a baby. Like, this isn't like, what harm could come from something like that? And I get that argument. I get that instinct, you know, but, you know, because I get parents are busy, you know, they're working jobs and, you know, they have, you know, they got stuff to take care of. So they're like trusting these random people on the internet, and I don't think they're trustworthy, plain and simple. This show, for example, is not for kids. There's videos that are for everybody, but the watchfrogs is not for young audience. You know, I have a potty mouth. I make jokes that are incredibly offensive, and I mean, I can't even really say these jokes like at a bar or like at a club, really. You know, some of the shit that I say is just not really for the public in that way. But nonetheless, like a little kid can just like listen to it and it's like whatever. I mean, dude, like even worse, like a little kid like stumbling upon Nick Fuentes. Like, I don't want children watching that shit. And I think Owen Benjamin is correct. Like, if parents, like the parents that are aware of like, you know, what's going on the internet, and they're aware of a lot of these influencers, they see what Nick Fuentes is saying and they're fucking horrified of him. Like, nobody wants their kid listening to that fucking weirdo. So yeah, it is what it is. Let's see. Let me read some of these comments. You guys are out of control. I got my first flip phone when I was 16, and I didn't even expect it or really want it that badly. Texting felt like a chore to me, and it still does. Yeah, you know, I enjoyed texting. Like, I had a lot of friends, so I was always texting friends. Like, I had a lot of girly friends, and we would text each other, but we were kind of limited because back then we didn't really have, like in the early 2000s, we didn't really have like unlimited text unless like our parents are rich and shit. But I didn't. So it always had to be like calls, like after like 6 or like 5 p.m. you can call whoever and you'd be like on the phone for hours. Like, that was always a lot of fun. But even then, like giving out your number, like no one really like gave out their phone number the way that people give it out now. Like, it's all willy nilly. Like, it's just crazy, man. It's just a different world. Joe one day impregnate one of his puppets so his line can continue to torment. Torment the world, Geo. Well, one day impregnated one of his puppets. Okay, all right. In the olden days, there were always rumors of gypsies and the unmentionable people putting on puppet shows for kids at the village square or in the marketplace or whatever. Maybe. Let's see. I don't know why that copy twice or new phone. Oh, okay. This topic reminds me of the old carnivals where they combined a bunch of things aimed at kids, but these places also employed ex-cons, freaks, the sodomite community, and bearded ladies. Yeah, the bearded ladies are like working in public schools now. So yeah, I've had an exhausting day. It sucked. Well, you can tell me about it later, Chaz. I'd like to hear it. Just don't make Fuentes music jokes in the club. Yeah, you missed that part, Stadia Dispatch. They had to force me to start carrying a phone. I don't mind it now, but I used to pretend to forget to charge it or I'd unplug it from the wall. It's not a bad idea. Sorry about the bad day, Chaz. Maybe tomorrow will be cooler. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow is cooler. All right, we gotta continue. Oh, I gotta drink some water, guys. Hold up. So speaking of subversive content and puppets, good segue. Elmo ends up making a post on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So Elmo writes, Elmo knows what's important. Oh, no, I lied. Elmo knows that it's important to be kind, just like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Red Heart. And like on the surface, you're like, there's nothing wrong with this tweet. It's whatever. But the be kind shit, I'm really sick of seeing this. Be kind. Fuck you. First of all, don't tell me what to do. Second, I had to chime in. I'm going to read my response. How come Elmo never tells Somali fraudsters to be honorable and to stop stealing? How come they don't get told to be kind? How come he never tells Kyle Kuklinski to stop being fat and to be kind to people who disagree with him? Why does Elmo never tell violent criminals and rapists to be nice? Crying emoji face. He's a 4-year-old dumbass. Yeah, fuck you. Hold on, I got. All right, so, isn't it weird? Just think about it. The whole be kind movement. Oh, just be kind. Just be empathetic. Just be like me, empathying all over the place. No, dude. When somebody, this is what I see. When these far leftist partisan hacks on within the Democratic Party promote this fucking slop, and they're like, "Oh, just be kind." What I hear in my head is like, "Hey, you listen up, Goyim. Just allow these people to steal. Just allow these people to attack the innocents. Just allow these people to be perverts. Just allow them to kill and to rape. Why don't you just be kind? And maybe they won't do those things." Okay. Seriously, I've never heard anybody be like, "Hey, that violent criminal needs to be kind. That domestic abuser needs to be kind." What about the victims of Jeffrey Epstein? Do you think the perpetrators, their victimizers, you think they were told to be kind? These people within the banking industry, these people within Hollywood, these science fuckboys, were they ever told to be kind? I bet all these science fuckboys, they subscribe to the be kind ideology. And you know what they did? They told me to my face that I'm a drug addict, that I'm a dumbass, that I deserve to be in fucking prison because I dared to say that the moon landing was fake. Fuck these people. Fuck Elmo right in his ass. I think the Be Kind movement is one of the most subversive movements on the planet. And it really is aimed at the Goyim who pays their taxes, that follows the law, doesn't fuck with people's shit, doesn't get into people's business, that is now committing crimes and violence and victimizing the innocent. Guys, think about it. I'm being dead serious here. I just feel like there's just something dark and nefarious about this. And also it's probably anti-white because you never hear Elmo or people like Elmo saying, hey, foreign invaders, can you guys not traffic humans and drugs into the United States? Why don't you try being kind for once? You just don't hear that. There's not a push to do this. As a matter of fact, I can think of one instance, and it was in Europe, where the white women were being raped and sexually harassed by the low IQ third worlders that were importing into the country. So they were doing the, hey, don't touch me there, don't touch my no-no square. They did the no-no square song, and they were singing to these fucking idiots like children. And that's like the closest we've ever gotten to be kind to people who actually needed to be told to be kind. So the grapes and the assaults were so bad, they had to sing a fucking song like children to these morons. And dude, that's the only example I got, bros. It's the only example I got. Be kind is just another phrase without its real meaning addressed, like support our troops or four legs good, two legs bad. For those who are familiar with Animal Farm. Ah, yes, I am familiar with Animal Farm. Some animals are more equal than others. In his ass, just like the Geo puppet on the wall. I'm a good little boy. Yeah, you are. Yeah, the whole group got GG'd. Let me see. Better watch out, Gio. The Muppet Show is going to come after your channel next. Yeah, you know what? They might. And you know what? I'm ready for it. I'm doing my own thing. You know what? I don't push... My puppets don't push politics onto people. My content is for everybody. Again, I'm just a noticer of things. I just notice things. It's not my fault. Be kind to who? People who are supposed to replace you and who aren't kind to you? Exactly, Buckaroo Bonsai. Yeah, no, now's the time to stand firm, stand on principle, and tell these people to knock their shit off and go back to where they came from. I was watching the drama today while working. Apparently, one of the guys in the group had the club promoter on the phone, and they all got banned, even if not all. Yeah, I know, Sadie, I know. Let's see. Sorry with the from Eric July to Elmo. Oh God, your puppets will rebel. Yeah, we should. Gio, not really. The No Square song was way back when they were still pretending that it was the white men that were doing it. Assault numbers were up, and they were acting like it was white men. It was a long time ago, and I don't necessarily recall the circumstances surrounding that song. But it was kind of obvious it was like really aimed at, you know, like you got to read between the lines, but you're probably right. There was an element of, oh, it's actually the white guys doing it. Kind of like all those propaganda videos where like, it was like a UK propaganda video, an anti, you know, essay video where the white dude was like, you know, putting his cock up against like a brown chick. And he's like, yeah, that's what you get, you fucking bitch, or whatever. And then like everybody stands up to this like skinny white kid who is like, the demographic that is least likely to like engage in that disgusting behavior. And it's like, dude, we know who's doing that shit on the buses. We know who's doing that in the public transit. Like, what the fuck, man? So you're probably right. There's probably a lot of truth to what you're saying there. It wasn't aimed at non-whites. This was before the migrants were even a big enough problem for most people to notice. Dude, Buckaroo Bonsai, they were a big enough problem to notice. They've been a really, really big problem for a very long time, especially for those of us who were, you know, at the time when I was a militant atheist. Sam Harris and Christopher Hitchens were really sounding the alarm. Here, I got to turn off that creepy music. I'm sorry, guys. So yeah, it was pretty bad. And again, like I know Paul Joseph Watson, I know he's kind of sucks now, but he did like a really funny video and explaining, you know, the No Square thing and just how absurd, you know, it was like a clown. That was like during like the Clown World era when Clown World was like the thing to say. So yeah. All right, we got to move on. Why do we stop building cities like this? Yeah, I'm not gonna read all this shit. This is way too long, and I don't want the show to go that long, so we're gonna have to skip this. But yeah, maybe some other time. All right, so we gotta do consumed sins, you guys. Ah, yes, consumed sinning. Gather around. It is time to confess our consumed sins. We have some content though that is definitely meant for this sermon. As a man of the cloth, I feel that it is necessary that we all come together and we confess our consumed sins. I want to see consumed sin confessions in the chat. In the meantime, while you're typing up your response, let's listen to this video really quick and let's see what this guy has to say.
Does your wife work? I said, no, my wife is a mother of 4 kids at home. He said, then how do you do it? He said, I know basically what you're making here. How do you do it? I said, well, it's a very, very difficult, very complex, very mathematical equation. I said, you sure you want to hear it? He said, I want to hear it. I said, you sure? He said, man, I'm sure. How do you do it? I said, we say no. We just say no. No, we're not going out to eat.
Base.
No, we don't need satellite TV. No, you don't need $100 pair of basketball shoes. No, we don't have to have TV dinners. No, my wife can cook. You just say no. No, I bought a 1976 Dodge Dart, paid cash for, for $700. I don't need a car payment.
Base, absolutely. And I do the same thing too, you guys. Like my car is 15 years old. I'm actually going to sell my car because I have like a 1999 Saturn. It's like a little tiny like Saturn car. It's like a little 4-door gray car. No bells and whistles. It's got AC. It'll cost maybe $50 a year to insure, full coverage. And dude, I'm good. I don't need a fancy car, guys. I don't need the Netflix. I don't need HBO Go. I don't need Amazon Prime Video. All I need is the Lord. Amen. All I need is God in my life. Amen. I don't need to go to McDonald's. I don't need to go to Taco Smell. I got plenty of food at home. I know how to cook. Most of the time I don't like to because I hate to like clean dishes and shit. But like I can make me a protein meal that will sustain me the entire day with spinach, kale, carrots, blueberries, blackberries, maybe like 1 banana because you don't want too much sugar. And throw some protein powder, throw some egg white powder in there. I don't need to consume the goy slop. Again, that's what the devil wants. That's what the enemy wants. They want you to consume product and get excited for next product. You got to say no. You got to stand firm. You got to stand on principle. You got to stand with the Lord. Amen. Guys, confess your consumed sins now to be saved. $100, $100 shoes. That dude's boots costed him about $600. LOL. Boomer worshipping is fucking cringe. I would need to see this guy's boots. I don't know. And again, what if he just bought those boots years ago? His $600 boots that he uses for work, and they're still good. I mean, again, those shoes, they last you. Let's say they last him 10 years. He's made his money back. Amen. I had chicken tenders today. They were mid. I'm sorry, Buckaroo Bonsai. That's sad. Where'd you get the chicken tendies from? We must know. LO dishes, a pot and a pan and a plate, and also anti-sugar. What a total bread eater. Shut your fucking mouth. Look, guys, as a dark chocolatey boy, I can't really be consuming sugar, man. It'll fucking kill me. It'll be the end of the watchfrogs. I have to say no, not just because it's bad for my health, but because it'll literally fucking kill me. Amen. This isn't boomer worship. What you are hearing is wisdom from an old man. Again, this is the right message.
I just need a vehicle that'll get me from point A to point B. I said,
That's
just
right.
say no. Live within your means.
Yeah, so, dude, I guess people are going to get really angry. Dude, why do people get so fucking uppity about being told to live within your means? Like, that's, like, really, really sensible advice. Like, I have, like, I don't know, 20, 30 pairs of fucking shoes. All of them, like, really nice. And, like, I spent a lot of money on them. I didn't have to, but I did. I consumed sneakers. I consumed really expensive shoes. But you know what? I've gone on this journey of consumed sinning. I've gone on this journey of combating consumed sinning, and I don't think I will consume no more. I'm not really interested in buying another pair of shoes. I probably won't buy another pair of shoes for many, many years. My work boots, you guys have seen them covered in drywall mud, dirt. I think I've stepped in dog shit once on those shoes. I have no desire to go out and spend another $150, $200 on work boots. Like, those boots are it. Like, I need I need to clean them up now that I'm mostly done with my remodels. So yeah, but you know what? Those shoes are still great. They're still nice and firm, and you know they're as sturdy as the day that I got them. Do I need to go out and buy, you know, some Nikes, some dope ass Nikes? My heart says yes, but my mind says no. And my soul knows better. The Lord would punish me gravely for indulging in consumed sins. We have some more consumed sinning. Cost of living has something to do with the birth rates, but it's not close to real one. Among white people and those influenced by white culture, there is an epidemic of brunch, frat bro behavior, extended adolescence. Boys and girls just want to have fun. They delay. When you hang out with evangelical Christians, oh, excuse me. When you hang out with evangelical Christians, their kids are more mature and seem older. Plenty of them have big families while not being high income. You have to keep your children away from the influences of the world. Sports gambling, weed, materialism. Amen. It's as if God is speaking through Mike Cernovich, who may or may not have had a transformer penis in his mouth. But the boy speaks the truth. He is bestowing upon the people pure wisdom. And I think back at this, I think back on my life. And a lot of the big wholesome Christians that I grew up with, that are like heavily involved in the church. They're heavily involved in, evangelism and whatnot. And even a lot of my Mormon friends, like they had like complete families, and they weren't indulging in consumed sinning. They weren't indulging in materialism and weed and gambling and all this other degenerate bullshit. They lived really good lives. And I remember like at a much younger age, I'm just like, this is what I want for myself. There was a point in time where I'm just like, I just want to live a clean life. I want to be clean. I want to be washed so I can be clean before the Lord. Amen. And I feel like, this is the way. If you want to combat the forces of subversion, if you want to combat the internationalists, it really starts at home. It really starts where you're at right now in this moment in time. And it really is as simple as saying no. I will not consume the goy slop. I will not consume your woke Miss Rachel bullshit. I'm not going to consume Stranger Things season 5. I'm not going to give you my money. I'm going to go out and live my best life. I'm going to go out and live a clean life. Amen. It's what the Lord would want. All right, let me read some of these comments here. Gio is black. Disavow. Gio, if you do not confess your consumed sins, I will let the chat know. Oh, shut the fuck up, bitch. You're getting banned. I once stepped in one of Gio's puppets. Dog shit. No, Chaz. Take that back. Take it back. I see both sides of it. Boomers had it easy and let the world go to shit. But you also have people taking on debt just for clothes, expensive food, a phone, and a new car they don't need. Yeah, man. Like, I own my phone. Dude, people like rent phones. People like get locked into these insane contracts. They're paying like $80, $90 a month just for cellular service. It's fucking crazy. I pay $190 a year for my phone service. Amen. Mint Mobile, shout out. My phone was like $500. If I really want to upgrade it, I'll just trade in mine. I'll get a $600-$700 credit, and I'll just pay the rest of the phone in cash. And I own my phone. I'm not paying extra for it. Amen. I want my own car. I'm sorry, Zombie Bomb. You'll have to settle for a old school 1990s vehicle. Mike is a true Christian. Putting a cock in your mouth is almost as Christian as Jesus, as it is the point. I don't know how I feel about that, but maybe. You need to research what the best cars are to buy, use, Subaru, Honda, use luxury vehicles. Yeah, I mean, some of those older Mercedes in the 90s and the 80s were actually pretty damn good. They were really well made back when, the Germans were making them. Use luxury vehicles lose their value quickly, but maintain their quality. Yes, depending on which one you buy. Currently, I drive a Jaguar XF, and dude, she's no problems. She's a little rough around the outside just because of, the heat and the sun. Pretty much destroyed the paint at this point, but whatever. I see it in my city. There are places to rent furniture. It's insane. They pay hundreds a month to pretend they can afford a $5,000 couch. I just sit on a regular couch. Comfort is overrated. Buckaroo Bonsai, do 100%. Not far from where I live, when I'm on my way to the warehouse, when I'm on my way to work, and there's a rent-a-center. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Rent-a-Center, and people are like renting flat screen TVs. You can rent a PlayStation. You can rent an iPad. There's like rent to own, programs. So it's like you have like $1,000 iPad, but you're paying like $80 a month for it. And then with the interest and all that, it ends up being like well over $2,000 for something that's worth like $1,000. Like, it's absolute insanity, or whatever the regular price is. You just gotta like double it for the most part. Like, the interest rates are like in double digits. Like, it's like double digits interest rates. I know the pawn shops, they do like triple digit interest rates, or at least they used to. I don't know if they do it now. I don't go to pawn shops. I feel so dirty and unclean. I get it. If I were to go into a pawn shop right now, I would run out. I would go to my nearest church and just drop to my knees, cry, and pray. That's how dirty I feel going to pawn shops. It's like, ew, gross. And if you look up the interest rates of these pawn shops, man, it's just absolute fucking insanity, dude. People, again, like, I get people be desperate. I've been there. I've been poor. I've been homeless. I know what's up, man. I've been on the streets, and that's why I preach this message. Right now, I'm speaking for the Lord. Amen. Trying to save these lost souls who are consumed by consuming. Trump wanted to cap interest at 10% is base, though. Really needs to be lower than that, but it's still a start. I've pawning off your puppets. God damn it, Chaz. No. You leave those puppets alone. They're worth hundreds, but you'll only get like $50 for them. Disavow. All right, then we got some more consumed sin. Amen. Michelle Obama, Big Mike. All right, so Big Mike has something to say about consuming. Dom Lucre, total grifter, by the way. Americans are furious with former First Lady Big Mike Obama. Let's hear why. Only a 35-second clip. Let's go.
If I hear of someone whose fashion that I like and I know that they're a person of color, I try to make it a point. But the clothes have to be available. I think we can all do some work to think about that balance in our wardrobes. What does our closet look like, and who's in it? Mm-hmm. Who are we supporting in it?
Right.
And I think if you have the money to buy Chanel, mm-hmm. then you have the money to buy everybody.
Right.
And so let us be mindful, I think would be my advice.
Yeah.
If I hear of...
You know what? You guys think I'm going to bite her head off? You guys expect me to just trash Big Mike Obama, and I'm not going to do that. Even though consuming is not good, obviously people got to wear clothes. But I kind of agree with this message. I'm not going to do it her way, but I understand her. So to continue the comment made by Dom Lucre, so First Lady Big Mike, they're mad at her after she pleads with voters to boycott white-owned brands. She is mindful to try to avoid white-owned brands, and others should also do the same, I guess. I do this. I don't even disagree with it, but I come at this from a different angle. See, as an ally to all people, as somebody who loves everyone and respects differences in all humans, I believe it's important to treat everybody with respect and kindness. So long as they're showing you respect and kindness, I think it's important to conduct yourself fairly and honorably in your life. And I don't mistreat people by how they look. I don't talk to people differently based on how they look. I see a white person and a black person, I speak to them both the same way, and I think that's good. However, I don't know how prevalent it is now, but there's a lot of companies, there's a lot of organizations, there's a lot of local municipalities, local government bodies that are deliberately antagonizing white-owned businesses. They are excluding them from special programs. They are openly discriminating against them. So when I see these programs or these advertisements where it's like support this blank owned business because of the color of their skin at the exclusion of other groups, I don't play that game. So all these Magic American owned businesses, look, maybe they're good and maybe I'll go there, but generally no, because they're being propped up by a racist system that I am against. Amen. Just a day after Martin Luther King Jr., I'm here rebuking racism in the name of the Lord. I love all people because God loves all people. Amen. Big Mike Obama doesn't want to support the whites. You know what? That's her right. She doesn't want to consume the white brands. Fair enough. But I think people should be conscious of this. If you are against, the replacement of traditional Western people, if you're against the blatant hostility, racism, and bigotry against traditional Western people, I believe we need to move the same way that Big Mike Obama is moving. I don't even disagree with what she is saying. Unless you're just super egalitarian and want to treat everybody the same and you want to leave this kind of thinking in the past, yeah, maybe it'd be nice if we can leave this kind of thinking in the past. And, the only businesses that are supported and that are propped up are ones that care about their customers, that offer a product that's high quality and of reasonable value, and reasonably priced, etc. But we don't live in that world. Everything is hyper politicized, and if you're going to consume, you need to consume so responsibly. You need to be conscious of your consuming, because politics is mainstream. It's infected everything. Even your choice of clothing is now a political statement to a degree. Let's see. Geo is sassy. Let's see. Oh man, hold on. What, I gotta scroll up. Jesus Christ. All right, so you guys are talking about cars. Don't care, but you had to replace their head gasket. Well, don't care. Which head you? Her hair looks fucking weird. I have no comment on her hair. I advise all of us to refuse to buy women-owned brands. Gio understand the plight of a black woman. Therefore, he's a black woman, I guess. I'm a black woman now. Big Mike is right. If you're going to consume, then overconsume to the maximum. Consume maxing is 2026. No, do not. No! Formix, no. Gio is sassy. He's uppity. He's on EBT. Call him bait. Let's see. Oh, Buckaroo. I would have put it past you. He's twerky. Jesus Christ. Thought of the idea because I intend to grow my own wheat and or cat, so I will have a surplus of hay, and it was used historically as bedding. I'm interested in growing my own coke. No, Jesus, like disavow. The Amish way, at least I think that's how they like their bed made out of hay. Okay, so there's a lot of ignorance in the chat. We're going to ignore that and move on. I think we have one more consume sin. Oh, no, we don't have any more consume sins. All right, well, that's it. We got to get into the 304 stuff. All right, so that was fun. So we got Pokimane Cringe. Let's start roasting some of these e-girls. All right, let's see what she has to say.
I feel like I was brainwashed by those people that were like, nice guys finish last. And let me just tell you, that's a crock of shit. I dated this guy. After a few weeks of seeing each other, I realized there just was not enough of a spark to warrant continuing to see each other. So I was thinking, we're gonna go to the event and then afterwards we'll have a conversation. I'll break things off as kindly as one can. I invite him back to my place to have the talk. And he says, wait, before we talk, give me 1 second. He runs to his car and he comes back in with 4 different gifts that he got me, including, bitch, a Gucci bag. This was the first one I ever got, and I felt so terrible, man. I was saying, I actually think it's maybe better if we go our separate ways. Can you please return? And he said no. And I said, no, like I'm serious. I feel really, really terrible. It was almost like me telling a man to return this stuff was also hurting his ego and pride even further. Not only did I never have the heart to even use this cursed Gucci bag, I think at some point I ended up giving it to like a friend. It's cursed. I can't.
Oh, wow. Pokimane slams nice guys finished last myth, even further stating it's a complete crock of poop. But she kind of
I feel
confirmed
like
that
I was
the last guy
brainwashed.
finished last. Oh, what did I tell you guys? Again, like, you can't win people over by buying things for them. Again, like, if you treat a relationship, like a romantic relationship, as like transactional, it's just not gonna work. Like, you can't really buy people's, love, for lack of better words. That's just not how people work. Let's read some of the comments here. So she literally goes on to finish saying she dumped the nice guy and took his gifts. She must be mentally retarded and in heat. Yeah, probably. I don't get how this does anything but prove that nice guys do indeed finish last. There's no way someone can be this stupid. She literally proved here that the nice guys finish last. LOL. WTF. She's so corny, hard to watch. Yeah, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Proceeds to explain a story of her own, confirming that nice guys finished last. Yeah, I mean, again, like, Pokimane sucks and she's cringe, but I don't know, like, I feel like the onus is kind of on the dude. Like, man, like, you got to really be able to pick up on the fact that someone's just not that into you, even if they're willing to hang out and, waste your time and your money. Because a lot of these chicks don't mind wasting a dude's time and money. But they won't accept the gifts. Like I said, again, if you accept gifts from the devil, they'll take it back with interest. So she doesn't want to pay back that interest. And that interest comes in the form of like pussy payments. So the guy thought like, oh, I'll just buy her this Gucci bag. I'll buy her all this stupid shit. And that'll also like kind of seal the deal. And no, she's again, she made up her mind before the gifts, before they even went out on this final date. And yeah, and you know what? Shame on her for even wasting this dude's time and going out on this final date with him. She should have canceled and been like, no, like, I'm not feeling it. I don't want to waste your time. I apologize. There's none of that. There's none of that happening here. Yeah. Again, I don't want to jump on the modern women are trash, but women like Pokimane are absolute trash. They are the worst. These are the worst people to date. And you just got to pick up on the signs, You got to be able to pick up on the clues, on the hints. You got to read between the lines. So you're not wasting your time and you're not wasting your money. And instead you're investing that time and I guess money on somebody who's going to give you the things that you want. Pokimane just seems like she's just so far up her own ass and she's such an egomaniac that it is almost impossible to please her. I mean, again, like, she's not unattractive. She's insanely rich. I don't want to say she can get any guy because I don't believe that, but there's a lot of dudes who would tick off all the right boxes, and it still wouldn't be enough for her. It's not enough for her. I don't know what the deal is. That's just the sense that I get. This is a really bad person. She's an evil, decadent, duplicitous hag, for lack of better words. I fucking hate Pokimane. I think she sucks. And she also does a whole eat the rich bullshit when she's literally a millionaire. And in my opinion, she kind of scams and misleads her own viewers. And again, I just hope more people pick up on that. I just don't like giving dishonest women attention. Even like on the internet, like, I just don't like doing it. Ugh, gross. Like, dude, just like imagine like unironically sitting there, like just sitting on your ass and watching a fucking Pokimane stream. It's like, why? You're not going to learn anything. She's not funny. Like, she sucks. It's like, okay, maybe she's pleasant to look at. Like, is she good at video games? I don't know. I don't watch her shit. Ugh, gross. All right, so we got more of it. Karen says her friends are not thrilled with how their husbands are reacting to the situation in the country, calling it ostriching. Oh, ostriching. Yeah. Sticking your head in the sand. Okay, got it. Let's hear what this woman has to say.
Like, I actually don't have a single friend who is like thrilled with how their husband is reacting to all this. Most of them are describing their husbands as ostriching, sticking their heads in the sand and pretending like nothing is happening. Meanwhile, my friends, their wives, are trying to figure out, how are we going to continue normal life for our children through this? How are we going to prepare and protect ourselves? And their husbands are like, stop being so emotional. You're overreacting. I mean, do we see what's happening? Hello. It's time to wake up. Protect your family. Like, my friends are losing complete faith in their partners at this point. The divorces that are going to happen after all this, it's going to be an unprecedented number because you all are failing your families.
Once again, not getting hysterical, not getting involved in politics is apparently a deal breaker for a lot of these like weird Democrat women. And it's again very important to choose your partner carefully. There's a lot of dudes who would like wife up a chick like this because that might be like their only option, and they're like, oh well, things are going great. But then along comes Trump, along comes Renee Good type situation, and then everybody's hair is on fire. And if you are not acting like your hair is on fire, that is apparently a deal breaker worthy of a divorce. If a woman is willing to divorce you over like shit that has nothing to do with your family, has nothing to do with what's going on in your life, dude, you guys got to start planning. Get a divorce lawyer. You got to start planning. Start hiding assets. You got to do what you got to do to protect yourself because, dude, these bitches are vindictive. They will be insanely vindictive towards you. They'll go straight for the throat because you're not sufficiently outraged as them. You're not sufficiently invested in all this weird woke bullshit that doesn't matter at all in the grand scheme of things. And it's upsetting. It's really upsetting that this is what has happened to so many women, where they've all been like activated and turned into these little activists, and it's tearing families apart. And I don't want to see that. I don't think anybody wants to see that. But this is the reality on the ground. This is the reality in a lot of people's relationships, and you got to be careful, or these fucking stupid women are gonna take you for a ride. Let me read some of these comments. As Adachi would say, I can't say that. Let's see. They're all the same. Everything Chess says is true. That is worth a Gucci. Not even my wife, if I have one, is worth a Gucci. Gucci is the ultimate consume sin. Probably true. All right, so we got another list. Dude, 5.1 million views. People are debating to date or not to date. This guy makes a list of never date or marry. Number 1, nurses. I don't know if this is entirely fair. I mean, I read the comments. I know what people are talking about, and like I get it. I don't know if this one is necessarily top priority. I know what I think I told you guys. One of my friends wanted to set me up with one of his wife's nurse hoochie friends, and I'm just like, no thanks. I don't know. It's probably kind of douchey of me. I probably could have handled that situation a little better, but it is what it is. Number 2, single mothers. Again, everybody's got their own preferences. I'm not here to trash on, all women or whatever. But again, it's important to have your preferences, and how you advertise them is also incredibly important. I will say this though. I feel like a lot of these women are getting unfairly beat up, like in public discourse. And we like the red pill, like the traditional red pill, not like the cringe subversion of the red pill. It's like, young kids, young boys, they need good male role models in their life. And while it might not be for me or for many of you, but if somebody wants to step up and ensure, some young boy has a positive role model so that boy doesn't grow up to be a savage and victimize old man Froggy, I'm all for it. Teachers, yeah, absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. Never, not even once. Teachers is a fucking no-go. I don't want to be one of those husbands who gets like 20 text messages like, hey, dude, your wife is on the news because she ended up having a sexual relationship with some fucking kid in the bathroom or in the teacher's lounge. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, dude, I can't even imagine. Like, I'm trying really hard to place myself in the shoes of these guys who are married to teachers, female teachers who like do that shit. And I can't do it, guys. I just can't even fucking imagine what that would be like. I would literally drive my car into Lake Mead. It would be so embarrassing. And so never teachers. Party girls. I don't know. I met a lot of really cute chicks partying. Had a good time. They treated me well. I don't know if I agree with this. Number 5, girls with tattoos. It depends on the tattoos, I think. Like, again, I get the stereotype. I get what people are saying. And I don't know. I've had some experiences with chicks with tattoos, and hey, they were great to me. You know what I'm saying? So, number 6, liberals. Yeah, look, maybe for one night, maybe for practice, maybe if you've had a dry spell for a few months, maybe a liberal might not be a bad thing. Horse girls, number 7. I don't know about that. I don't really get the stereotype. maybe horse girls are kind of like boss babes, where it's like the boss babe is like she's all about her career, but the horse girl is like all about the horse, and you're not as important. It's almost like tantamount to dating like a single mom, maybe. I don't know. I'm not really familiar with the horse girl tropes, except they might be like dog maxing. It might be like instead of like dog maxing, they're horse maxing. I've seen the pictures, you guys, so I don't know. Maybe there's some truth to number 7. Number 8, lawyers. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have a lot of experience with lawyers. One of my buddies, I think, dated like a paralegal, and I don't know, she was cool, but I think he said that she was kind of clingy, so it just didn't really work out. Number 9, basically like a feminist, basically like number 6, feminists, liberals. This might as well be the same exact thing. Girls from Dubai. Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't want to kiss a girl from Dubai. That would be like tantamount to kissing a porter potty. You know what I mean? Like if I were to fall and my face were to land on dog shit, like that would probably be more sanitary than the mouth of a girl from Dubai. So number 10, I 100% agree with. I think this is important. This is a decent list. Maybe there's a little bit of bias and a little bit of animus kind of hidden behind some of these answers here. So I don't fully agree, but overall the general list is not too bad. All right, so let me go ahead and read some of these comments here. Let's see. Shit, I don't know where to go. Okay, so once Elatio run ICE, deports all illegals, and the white American Karen divorces her ex-husband, the ex-husband will enjoy his new white Latina or his new Latina wife and mixed kids. Yeah, probably. Yeah, right now the Latinas are like they're in vogue for the white nationalists, I guess. So that's interesting. White women are the trigger to white replacement theory. It's just them who get replaced. A single mom is a huge risk. The kids will hate you. The mom will put you last. You can be liable for child support sometimes if you break up in some states, even though it's not yours. Yeah, again, like there's risks. But there's a lot of dudes who are willing to take it, and I don't want to shit on all men, and I don't want to shit on all women. You know, I try to be fair and neutral here. Are single moms even real? They're just government wives. Oh, Jesus. Jerry, you're a closeted rainbow man. Why are Tao? You looking at this? I don't even know what you're saying. She's 9/11. Bro, horse girls are basically horse pilled. Yeah, Megatony is God. That's what I'm thinking. Stop hitting on Gio. He belongs to Nick Fuentes. Oh, absolutely not. Yo, come on, Fredo Reyes. I don't want to think about that shit. Ugh. The order is wrong. First, it's feminists, liberals, same thing, single mothers, and the rest follows. You shouldn't even have lawyers, judges, or cops as friends or as a partner. Never. I don't. You know what? I don't think I'm friends with any judges. I am friends with some lawyers. They're decent folk for the most part. All right, so we got to move on, guys. It's an interesting list. Well, let me see what people are saying. Let's see. Forgot to add girls with nose rings. Maybe. I'd swap liberal with leftists. Those are the crazy ones. Otherwise, pretty good. Rage bait, you're right. Translation, never date women with careers, opinions, or life experience. Yeah, someone is cranky. Someone doesn't like the the whole life experience shit. Such a cop out. Fuck off. All right, so let's move on. All right, so the single mom is blowing up on TikTok after creating a date deposit app. Oh Jesus, let's just watch the video. Fuck.
After I said I would require a deposit to take me on a date to cover my date preparation costs, I'm now working with an app developer to make this a reality. This is actually happening. We are building the app. I'm not even exaggerating when I tell you this is the best damn dating app you have ever seen, because there is a clear difference here where the woman can set the deposit rate and the man can pay for her date preparation costs. So as a woman, you're going to walk into the date already so happy, and that's going to lead to a better date and a better connection, and that gives the man a better chance of succeeding in courting you. The app is called Courted. So when people ask, how did you meet? You can say, he courted me. So cute. The website already looks absolutely stunning, and the app itself, incredible. All of the features are so unique and nothing like you've ever seen on any dating app. Oh, and to everyone who said you can't do that, guess what? I just did. So we are going to launch this city by city. And if you want early access, click the link in my bio and sign up. Let's make dating fun again. Love you.
This just seems like a way to, this just seems like legal prostitution. This just seems like you can bypass all this and you can like hire like an escort. Like it would probably cost a lot less. Date preparation costs, fuck that. This is what, did you stick to Tinder, stick to Hinge, stick to Bumble, stick to OkCupid, stick to Christian Mingle, you know, take them to Chili's, take them to Applebee's. You're paying $30 max for the other person. You're not. No, this is so like ghetto coded. I mean, a lot of the ghetto urban women, like the ghetto side of social media, they're like, sweetie, you got to pay for my nails. You got to pay for my hair. I got to get my hair did. I got to get my eyebrows did. My nails are, you know, they're like a week old and they expect you to pay for this shit. And I'm just like, no, I'm not going to do that. Especially when you do it for other dudes for free. I can't, again, like a man cannot be expected to pay for all this shit when you're seeing like 5 or 6 other dudes that week. And everybody knows, or they get courted, at least on the free apps, about that many times to go on, you know, the proposition to go on a date that many times. And no, this app is going to fail. What dude would go on this? I'm sure there's plenty of simps that would like flock to courted to court women on a romantic date. But I mean, dude, this looks like hiring an escort. This looks like prostitution. It really does. Yeah, no thanks. I hope she spent thousands of dollars to build this app, and I hope it loses every single penny. I mean, who knows? Maybe somebody will invest in it and it'll fail, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, let's just look at this. Look at this chick. Again, she has a Christian cross necklace on her, over around her neck. And no, I'm not paying for the dude. This chick is not worth anything. Maybe a drink or two, but you're not worth what? I mean, what am I I'm gonna pay for your makeup. I'm gonna pay for your nails. I'm gonna pay for your fucking hair products. No, thank you. This sounds horrible. This sounds really, really horrible. And I really hope that dating doesn't trend in this direction, where no, it sounds like you're paying for pussy payments. Like, this is not good. You're putting the pussy on the pedestal. This is horrible. This is, how many views did this get? Okay, over 100K. Yikes. You wouldn't date a cat, a dog, or an oven, so why would you date a woman? You sound like Fuentes and that Myron Gaines guy. No, I don't. One look at this chick, and it says high maintenance, continues walking away. The two-tone hair needs maintenance. She gets it. What are the puppets doing behind you? They're fucking in the ass, cheese. The colored one is teaching the Geo. God damn it, you guys. You guys are awful. All right, so we got to move on. So curated is coming. I got to take a look at that app. I don't know. Maybe I should go and sign up and just, you know, and like barter with them. No, I'm kidding. I would never waste my money on something so stupid. I can meet a woman for free.
So I'm scrolling the dating apps earlier, and for the first 20 swipes, it's conservative, moderate, apolitical, nothing, conservative, moderate. And to me, conservative, moderate, and apolitical and nothing is all the same thing. You all are MAGA. So immediately, no. Took me 20 swipes to finally find a liberal. I'm like, gee, what the fuck is going on? Why is everybody MAGA? It's not that everybody's MAGA. It's that, you know, the male loneliness epidemic. It's because nobody wants to date them. They don't make good partners. That's why there's so many single ones out there.
How would she know? She doesn't date them. Fuck you. What a bitch.
All the liberals are taken. Not all of them. Obviously, there's some out there.
No, most of them are not taken. That's actually a lie. A lot of them, you know, they like to, like, you know, chimp out about like my incels and my lonely men and all that shit. It's like, dude, you guys are the lonely men. You guys are the incels, and you guys even look the part too. Like the average Redditor, like those dudes aren't like swimming in pussy. You know, that's the myth, right? That's like that's the rub. That's the iPhone marketing in play, where it's like, oh yeah, if you have an iPhone, you're more likely to get laid. Yeah, that's just a sneaky way to get people to, again, consume products so you can end up with a chick like this. It's like, yeah, if you vote Kamala Harris, like, you're gonna get laid. I mean, look, if that's the goal, yeah, sure, you can lie. There's nothing wrong with it. But then again, like, look, she's sniping at people who, kind dudes, normal guys who don't want to insert politics into their dating profile. I don't. That's a horrible strategy. Again, if you're feeling really lonely, and again, you want to enjoy this chick for one night, yeah, just be like, oh, you know, the Kamala Harris has some good points, you know, whatever. You know, you can dress it up however you want. But long term, like, no. Yeah, so the guys who are like, yeah, I'm a MAGA bro, like I vote, I'm a Republican, like I come from like a traditional Christian household. It's like, yeah, obviously that's like conservative coded. And by the way, those dudes, most of the time, like, again, like most of my friends who are conservative or like legitimately like Christian conservative dudes, they all got careers. They got businesses, they got kids, they got a wife and shit. Like they got their shit put together, you know, like they're just like well established dudes. So again, like this whole like, oh, every dude who like votes Trump or who leans like to the right of like Karl Marx is like an incel is just not true. So she's perpetuating these harmful stereotypes that are again, it's bullshit. And not only that, like just being a liberal male, like, ugh, yikes. What else do we got here? Let me read some of these comments really quick. Is that a wig? Is this cousin its daughter from the Addams family? I don't know. She doesn't look bad. She looks like I would date her if she wasn't stupid. I don't know. It looks like looks more normal now. It looks like it looked so big a minute ago. She sucked Wang Dong for that sweatshirt. Probably. It's not my mom. Probably. So we got a female, 23 years old, finds my boyfriend boring. Again, I've said so many times. One of the worst things you can do in a relationship is bore your partner, bore the woman. A bored woman will drift. She will seek excitement elsewhere. That doesn't involve you. I've only been in one relationship previously, my first love. That relationship was extremely passionate. We were obsessed with each other, showering each other in compliments, spending hours just staring into each other's eyes and talking about anything and everything. And the sex was wild and frequent. We got along great with our respective families, and everything was shockingly perfect. The relationship ended very tumultuously after I found out he was paying for OnlyFans behind my back. He didn't consider it cheating. I did. So yeah, this is what you do. You can't reward men who consume porn, who consume OnlyFans slop. She did the right thing. So I feel bad for her because she found a good egg, but the little egg was showing signs of cracking. And yeah, that sucks, man. So after leaving that relationship, I was craving stability after such a tumultuous ending. I started dating my current partner, who is smart, shy, and practical. For the first few months, I pursued him actively, and he was attracted to my outgoing, eccentric, and excitable tendencies. Now we've been together for about a year, but I've had doubts. Since around 4 months, he doesn't compliment me frequently. He has a lower libido. Oh, yeah, this is bad right here. You got to fix that, man. I don't know what he's doing. He's probably smoking weed, probably consuming goy slop. Again, I don't know what's going on here, but this is a deal breaker for a lot of the chicks. He doesn't like spending hours together just talking. He isn't obsessed with me the way my first love was. So imagine being ran through at 23. Oh, dude, I feel bad for this guy. Yeah, he's fucked. This is a crazy chick addicted to stimulation. She's lying about the reason for the breakup with her ex. It wasn't over OF. She would clearly go back to the ex if she could. She can't, which means he dumped her. Her husband material was her rebound. She chased. Yikes. You're right. She's probably lying. Yeah, well, she is a woman after all. Yeah, there's no fixing this. I mean, she wants what she wants, and if you don't have to offer the things that she wants, she will seek it elsewhere. This relationship is not going to last, unfortunately, even if the guy is like, quote unquote, doing everything right.
Hey, Ashley. How's it going? I'm just here to crash your Tinder date. You know Matthew? That's me. That's me, Matthew.
Matthew?
You're
Yeah.
Matthew?
Yeah, I'm Matthew. You thought you were here to meet Matthew? So, what are you getting for me to go? Because I'm not staying here to talk to you. And we're done. And I want a divorce. Yep.
I can't believe this.
What do you mean you can't
You're
believe
such a
this?
fucking psycho.
How am I a psycho?
You went.
I
you
want a
invaded-
divorce. Invaded what?
You know what? You're not getting a fucking divorce.
Why not?
No.
Yeah.
Because I said no.
Doesn't matter. I'm gonna take this
Because I
video
said
and
no.
all the proof
And
I
then-
have
and
to
guess
the
what?
lawyer.
I didn't sign
And
a prenup, so if you try to divorce me, I'm taking half of everything.
yeah, whatever. Yeah, I already knew. I knew you was always a piece of shit.
Yeah, dude, that's why dudes in the club were screaming, "We want prenup" when that song came up. Yeah, this is pretty bad. Yeah, you're fucked, man. And unfortunately, if the woman doesn't want a divorce, this process drags out forever. Let me see. So Friedrich Marx writes, my women don't get bored because I give them a good reason to tap on occasion. She looked like the wife from Married with Children. I think Peggy is her name. LO smoking weed. Weed smokers have more sex and kids than non-weed smokers on average. Love count Geodud. Wrong again. I don't know if that's true. I don't really buy that. This is gay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Oh no, this page is gone. Let's see, what do we got here? All right, so we got a surprise cringe coming up. Let's see. I suddenly hate everything about my boyfriend of 4 years. I'm torn on what to do. All right. So hi guys. This is going to hurt me to type, but I could really use some advice. My boyfriend and I have been together since our freshman year of high school. We're now freshmen in college. We go to different schools, but they're not too far apart, so we visit each other every weekend or so. I'll just get right into it. I think I may genuinely hate him, and it's so fucked up because he's the sweetest, most helpful, most generous, just perfect boyfriend. He's never been anything but good to me these last 4 years, but lately I found myself disliking more and more things about him. The last time we hung out, this past weekend, everything he did pissed me off irrationally. The way he stood, the clothes he wore, how he walked, spoke, his hobbies. I started thinking he was too thin, too short, not hairy enough, not masculine enough. Just picking at every perceived flaw I didn't care about before yesterday. I found myself checking out other guys and desiring them when I've never ever desired. Okay, so it cuts off there. Yeah. So she's bored, essentially, and he's not changing. You have to change. You have to evolve, or they're gonna stray. So that's basically what's happening. So 2 hot takes. I never heard of this subreddit before. It's probably a good thing she went 4 years without a baby. Yeah, a very noble analysis. In reality, she just wants to hoe it up in college. Probably true. Or she suddenly stopped taking the birth control. It could be true. Why would you want to put a child in a foul, unreliable creature like this? Yeah. This is yeah. She's doing him a favor if she leaves. Don't marry men who watch porn. My wife and I are struggling in the bedroom. Can I get some advice? My wife, 27, and I, 28, got married about a year ago, and we are dating for a year and a half before that. I love her to death, and she's an amazing person, but we are having problems in the bedroom, which are really troubling me. First, I have issues with getting erections, so PIV is rare. I think in our relationship, we may have had PIV about 4 to 5 times only. Personally, I don't really love PIV, but my wife does, and I'm okay with it. My issues with erections have preceded me knowing my wife. Slowly, they are getting better, and I'm consulting with doctors as well to get myself fixed down there. To make a long story short, I get erections, but they don't last long enough for PIV. I did my research and concluded that my exposure to excessive pornography may be the big role to play in it. I'm trying to quit cold turkey, but I fell off the wagon sometimes, but I still get back on immediately. I'm getting better at it, and my erections are better too. Yeah, again, OnlyFans, Instagram, Pornhub, all that shit. It's little poison. Rono Gaming, the YouTuber, he's like a big science nerd, but like I guess he's a base Christian, and he went on on this like tangent about how like you can't watch it, and he broke it down scientifically, and it was really interesting to listen to. And even funnier were all the people in the comments section just like, oh, how dare you, you're putting your Christian beliefs. It's like, dude, like the science is in, bros. Like this stuff is poison. You can't, again, this is a consumed sin. You can't be consuming this shit. All right, so we got one last thing. We got some cringe here. Let me read some of these comments before we dive into this. Let's see. He needs to take his wife to a trip to the deep woods. She hates him because she wants to be a hoo-hoo. Probably true. Chaz, when you're going to play Bloodborne? PIV, took me a real long time to work out. That is such a weird way of saying sex. They probably have to say that to like circumvent some filter on Reddit. You know how Reddit is. It's kind of weird. All right, so we got this crazy woman named Chanda Petri Cesaruk, who's an RN. RN with extensive experience in post-acute leadership. All right, so that doesn't mean shit to me. Anyways, let's hear what this lady has to say.
My wish for Caroline Levitt. She is pregnant with a baby girl.
Yeah, so Caroline Levitt is the White House spokeslady. She's the white lady, and I guess she's pregnant. So who knows who's going to fill that role when she is on leave? But yeah, that's who Caroline Levitt is. She works for the administration.
And I truly do hope that baby is so healthy. I hope she's healthy and headstrong. So headstrong, in fact, that as she is emerging into this world through Caroline's geriatric tech garage, that she tears her from bow to fucking stern. Grade 4 tear. Like so big that when she gets out of the shower naked and walks across the room, like she accidentally picks up dog toys. Yeah. That's my wish for you, Caroline.
Dude, liberal people are just so crazy. All these fucking Democrats, man. When Biden was president, when he was illegitimately elected, like I'd never engaged in this behavior where I was like, I hope all the worst things happen to this person in the administration. I hope this happens to Biden. I hope this happens to so and so. Like I'm not like out here like wishing harm and yuckiness onto people that I don't like or disagree with, or who are like actively ruining my life. And those people did ruin so many people's lives with their horrific policies. We took our fucking licks like a man, and we chose ballots over bullets, and we did everything right. But there's just something about Trump's presidency and his existence and the existence of the people in his administration that just drive these Democrats fucking crazy, to the point where they're saying all this heinous shit about the spokeswoman for the administration. And it's like, look. Okay, let's we're gonna mute this. We heard what she says. So you look at her facial expression. She's like giving this like goofy smile, this sinister smile. She's not frowning. She's not scowling. But behind this smile, behind these words that appear to be friendly and kind and empathetic and all that shit, like behind the words, behind this mask that she's putting up, it's just like it's oozing with hate, anger, resentment, pettiness. And this is a medical professional, ladies and gentlemen, who is espousing these beliefs. So this isn't like some blue-haired freak on like Blue Sky. This isn't some fucking fat libtard on Reddit that is just spewing this shit. This is a grown-ass adult woman with a profession. This bitch has degrees, bros. And she's talking about this baby ravaging this woman physically during birth, to the point where Caroline Levitt is physically, just not the same. Her body is just completely different, just deformed from this pregnancy that is, to the point where it's like it's dragging items off the floor. Like, absolutely disgusting to talk about somebody like this. I've never done it. I don't think I ever will. I just don't get that angry. Again, like, politics doesn't consume my life. But these people, it's like it's everything. If you are even remotely associated with MAGA or the administration, or you have the wrong opinions, this is what they wish for people like us. And it's unbelievable cringe. Yeah, by the way, this woman got fired. They ended up finding her, so they contacted the Ohio Nursing Board and they filed the complaint. Enough people did. So yeah, the First Choice company, We are aware of a social media post made by a former employee that has led to questions and external comments. This individual is no longer employed by our organization and does not represent us in any capacity. The statements made on her personal social media account do not reflect our organization's values or practices. So I guess that's good. It looks like this was made on Facebook. Yeah, this is the right response. Like, yeah, just get rid of these people, keep them away from you. And yeah, these people don't belong in any medical practice of any sort. Again, like we're at a point in society that it's not enough to just choose your romantic partner carefully. You need to choose your doctor carefully. Where are you going to go eat at a restaurant with your friends? If you guys all have the wrong opinions, you can't just go to any restaurant, because if those people find out how you vote or who you support, or if you're like, yeah, I'm pro like strong border security or whatever, they'll like spit in your food. They'll wipe their ass with your chicken tenders and shit. They'll fuck with your food. And yeah, this is the world we live in. And if you go to this nurse or this medical practitioner, I mean, do you expect to get good care if she's aware of your political views? Maybe you have a bumper sticker on your car that would signal to her that you're the bad person, and she's gonna wish all this horrific shit onto you. Even just like seeing like an American flag like drives these people crazy. It's like dangling onions in front of a vampire. They just start like hissing and shit. Like it's disgusting. All right, let me go ahead and read some of these comments before I clear out of here. Where the fuck is my vape? Oh, here it is. What the fuck is wrong with you Yanks and soft cocks? Unfortunately, people in Yankee land like consuming goy slop, and that shit fucks with your reproductive system, and your organs. You know, your equipment's just not going to work if you consume poison. Also, people here are addicted to drugs. I mean, and they're also addicted to pornography, and that shit fucks with your performance. It fucks with your ability to get erect, to get aroused, you know, because you just destroyed your brain. That's what that stuff does. It fries your fucking brain. Jared tries to make it a political issue. It's a white woman issue. The problem is them and pussy beggar enablers like yourself. You have never put a woman ever in its place in public to shame them. No, I don't think I have. I again, like, if somebody like if a woman that I am dating or whatever, fortunately I've never been put in a position where like I had to like daddy up on someone in public like that. But like on the real though, like let's say hypothetically, like I'm on a date, and let's say the girl or the woman that I'm with is like being rude and disrespectful in some way, maybe to the waiter, maybe to me, it doesn't matter. I would probably just get up and leave, dude. Like I just don't like what good comes about trying to correct that behavior from an unruly woman. Like, I do believe people change, but I don't think I'm going to be the person that changes somebody. And I don't really think it's my responsibility to like daddy up on someone in public. Like I've seen dudes try to daddy up on women who like disrespect them, or like they go on like a first date and they put all this effort into it and it doesn't go their way, and then they try to daddy up on the woman. Like, dude, you're not changing that woman's mind in any way, shape, or form. Like, you're not changing anything. I just think it's a waste of time. I don't know, Friedrich Marx. Maybe you can regale us with a tale of you dadding up on a woman in public and shaming them, and tell me how that went. Most women lack empathy. Yeah, for most regular people, yes, they do, but not for the people that the regime tells them to have empathy towards, like a Somali fraudster, for example. They obviously have an abundance of empathy towards the Somali fraudster, so much so they're willing to sacrifice their lives for them. If I see a woman screaming at a dude and I tell him to shut up, his bitch up before I do. Okay, that's kind of funny. What comes from it? Not having them ruin your nation. Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. I mean, I don't know, man. Are the Aussies better off than us? Because the Aussies not looking too great, brother. Aussies not looking too great. I mean, granted, we got a lot of problems, but I'd rather be here than over there. Just saying. Oh man, I got a lot of messages here. Let's respond to some of these. Let's see what's going on. Okay, this is nothing. All right. I have knocked out 3 women in public for them acting up. Okay, so he's promoting violence, disavow. Yes, we are fine. We have less issues than you. I don't know. It's probably true, man. I don't know. People only change after multiple people who don't know each other have said the same thing to them. So you should always tell people when they suck. Explain it all real clearly. I don't know, man. Like a part of me still like really friendly, and I generally don't like to do that. But I think this year, you know, like if I'm out in public and someone's being, you know, like uppity and retarded, I might speak out. I think this year should be the year that we speak out. And I think now more than ever, it's important that we speak out and put a stop to this kind of behavior. Just given what's happening in Minneapolis, especially in that church. Let's see, I can sleep with my door open in a minority area. Something you cannot do. Oh, how bad it is. Yeah, you're right. We can't do that. I mean, even the suburbs, you can't do that, man. Even when you're away from it, they'll just descend upon you from the ghetto and steal your shit. So yeah, I mean, I had to sleep with a gun. Like I sleep with a shotgun right next to me, and you know, like I got an AR-15 hanging behind me. You know, like I got guns everywhere. You know, just because I'm like I'm not gonna get cut off guard. You know, like that's like it's like a nightmare scenario, dude. Like all these people fucking rolling up on you and shit. Can't be me. Can't be me. So yeah, guys, so we went over a little bit, went over 2 hours. So yeah, it looks like everything went good though. It's a good show. Everything was smooth. I wake up with my door open. Yeah, you wake up with your door open and all your shit gone. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, that's definitely not what you want. All right, guys. Well, until next week, we'll see what happens. There's just be a lot of really crazy stuff happening out here in the news. Apparently, we're gonna acquire Greenland or something, and we're gonna do all this other crazy shit. And who knows? Maybe we'll get an Epstein arrest finally. We'll see. All right, everybody. All right, everybody. Have a good night.